Okay, we're live with another Cartridge Club Hangout. I'm here so far with Yoshi and Cody. How you guys doing?
Good.
Eh,
Fantastic.
eh.
So how's your week been, Cody?
It's been busy, like right now, I'm not really doing a whole lot. I usually work out in the field in the summer for about 6 months out of the year, and this year I've been taking the winter off to make sure I get been studying to be an EMT, and I test next week, start testing. So yeah, it's been a lot of work and covered about 1,350 pages is what I'm at of material in just a couple months, and it's been a cram. And then I got an interview tomorrow for some preseason burning I'm probably going to do at the beginning of April or end of March, working for the Nature Conservancy, doing some burning, and then I'll go right into my fire job come May. And then after that, I'm going to look at getting a job working as a EMT somewhere.
Nice.
So yeah, just been busy studying all week, stressed out. Making a lot of stir fry.
How about you, Yoshi?
Am I done with college yet? Am I done with college yet? That summarizes my entire fucking mood at the moment.
Yeah, that makes sense. You were mentioning before we started a system you were working on.
Yes.
Unless it's a pickup you want to save.
No, it's not a pickup. So I've been working on this old Atari 400. And for a while, I thought it had some major problems in the power circuitry. And then I realized you have to plug an AC source into this thing to have it power up. Anyway, so after I got it powered up, it boots up to the memo pad screen. And then the keyboard doesn't work. So in regards to the keyboard not working, there are generally two possible faults. One of them is a pair of ICs that are multiplexers that do some stuff for the keyboard, and the other one is a special IC called Pokey. The problem with Pokey is it's been like hunted by the chiptune fans, and some guy smelted like thousands of copies of the single game that it was in. Because there used to be able to get a game called Ball Blasters, I think it is, or Ball Blazer for the 7800 that had Pokey inside of it. And this is where people were getting Pokey chips. Some guy decided to smelt thousands of new old stock of these because, gold. So he smelted thousands of these for probably $10 of gold.
Wait,
Yep.
You mean smelted literally? You melted it down?
Yes.
Why?
Because people are jerks. And people like to smelt old electronics without realizing, hey, you're probably melting chips that are rare as hen's teeth.
Okay.
So now I have a dead console here, and if I want to get a new chip, it's going to cost me like $35 frickin' dollars.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Considering this thing's only worth like $100, that's not really worth the freaking cost.
Yeah, if that. I was about to say.
So I'm probably just going to sell this thing as parts, probably.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like 35 would be a good price for the console.
Well, I think these are worth about $100 in working condition, in good working condition.
No, I just meant they were a deal. That would be a deal that you would want to go for.
Because I can either get the Pokey chip from Ball Blasters for the 7800, Commando for the 7800, or Dead 5200. All three of those are like more expensive than I want to pay for a chip. Or I could buy it from the one jerk on eBay that's selling them for $35.
Yeah, and like at that point, your profit margin's so low because you've already spent on the console. Maybe not much, but something. And then you have the chip, and then you have probably eBay fees and stuff like that. And it's just like your profit margin's so low at that point, on top of your time that you put in, that's just not worth it.
I've already got a couple hours in this thing, just troubleshooting it this far. But that's not mentioning that Well, I didn't pay for the console because it was in a box of crap I was supposed to fix for the local game store. Once I told him it would be like a $30 chip to fix it, he's like, nope, keep it, keep it for parts. So I'm like, okay, I got a 400 that doesn't work. I'll let it sit in the freaking corner until I can find the chip for it for a reasonable price.
Hmm.
From someone that's not going to, because honestly, this thing's worth more than a 5200. Because screw the 5200.
That's probably true. I'm not super familiar with Atari stuff, but screw most versions of Atari that aren't 2600, I'm assuming.
2600 and 7800 are the only good Atari consoles. And some of the home computers are good, but other than that, it's all garbage. Sorry, Atari collectors. Atari consoles are garbage.
Anyway.
Get mad. Get real mad. Come at me, bro. Also, the engineering in these is horrible.
Yeah, the quality of those weren't the best at the time.
Voltage regulator with a shunt resistor across it.
We've already gotten out a bunch of techno babble, so moving on.
So how many? I guess I was going to ask you real quick, dude, about the Atari thing. What was that system play? That 400? Is that like a old school computer Atari, or is that a game system?
It's a computer.
Oh, okay.
Well, those had games for them.
There are games for it, but it's basically a computer.
Okay. So, I don't know much about Atari. What the heck was it I was looking at the other night? I was curious about the Amiga system. And like I was looking up some stuff on that, and like to me that looks like something that was like a computer system with gaming capability, and you could like upgrade it and things like that, I guess is what I got out of it.
A lot of the 80s computers were essentially there for gaming, like your Commodores and your Amigas and all that stuff. The majority of stuff people used those for was video games. You could also do some serious work on them, but let's be honest, the majority of people bought those for their kids to use as game machines. I don't think people really use, because if you were going to do serious stuff on a computer, it probably would have been like an IBM at the time. You probably would have spent the extra to get one of those, or a little bit later on like a Compaq. But yeah, computers used to cost thousands of dollars for a decent computer. And I'm not talking about like today where you can go get a decent computer by modern standards for like $200 to $300. Well, I used one for like $200, but yeah, you can get a computer for $300 and it will do just about everything the normal person wants it to do. Surf the internet, look at your Facebook, look at your Twitters, look at the YouTubes. It's gonna do all that. Yeah.
Word processing, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Unless you want a computer for like video editing or gaming or anything like that.
Yeah, or photo editing.
Photo editing, maybe you can do photo editing on a cheap, crappy computer just fine. It might
not
just
well.
But yeah, for the majority of things that most people are going to want a computer for, you can get by with a $300 to $400 laptop. Back in the day, if you wanted a computer that was decent, you were paying $2,000 to $3,000. The friggin' couple $100 gaming computers that were out, like the Commodore 64 and the Amiga, those were basically gaming computers because you wouldn't want to trust that to do your like big calculations and stuff.
I think you're getting deeper into this topic than was necessary.
You should know by now this is what happens.
I know, that's why I'm mentioning it.
Well, thank you. We can move on now. Next.
Hey, Ryan in the chat. Yeah, you're gonna need a beefy computer for Eric's spreadsheets.
I know, right? Spreadsheets? Who put spreadsheets on my spreadsheets? Why are there spreadsheets invested in my spreadsheets?
Eric's a badass, though.
Yeah, I know. He's got spreadsheets, spreadsheets, and spreadsheets. He's got like 3-dimensional spreadsheet arrays. Okay, I just lost everybody. I'll stop.
Yeah.
Cat, what are you doing?
Anyway, plenty games or anything, Jody?
Well, I beat Onimusha. I'm working on a platinum for that.
Nice.
and then nope, that's it. That's it for now. I got Resident Evil 2, haven't cracked it open yet, and then I downloaded that Apex game.
Apex Legends?
Yeah,
the Titanfall Battle Royale game with no Titans in it.
Yeah.
Which, fair, just even... I'm not super familiar with Battle Royale, but thinking about how those work, Titans would kind of break that.
Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Combat with those mechs, I mean, would work in that kind of scenario, I think, just because it draws people into them when you're doing Titanfall online, when you're fighting in that one. You're drawn to, like, the mech fight. Like, if you're a ground troop, you're running to that fight to watch and, like, participate, I mean, I think it would work, personally, but...
Yeah, but I think it's kind of like how I imagine a well-placed strike would work in Call of Duty. If the right person gets a Titan in a Battle Royale map, they're probably going to be number one or very near the top. Because that's not a Respawn game type, that, despite being made by Respawn. That's just kind of... Yeah, it would unbalance it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
It looks good.
I was disappointed to see that Respawn mentioned that they weren't doing Titanfall 3 right now either, so it's like, that kind of sucks, because I am looking forward to when that does come out. I did like the game a lot. I really wish they would just remaster the first one for the PS4 too, since they chose to do the X-Bone run on that one, and I think that they kind of missed the mark by leaving the PS4 people out, and
yeah.
So I'm hoping, the third one comes out and it's good.
I imagine part of the thought behind this one is Battle Royale is popular right now, and the last Titanfall didn't do super well. So this, if it does well, can fund the next Titanfall.
I did try Anthem. I did try that.
So did I. What'd you
I
think?
don't know. I don't know. It's all right. I guess it just didn't feel like anything extra special to me. But
yeah, it seemed a little bland. Granted, it's a demo. There's not much content was in it. More of a beta than a demo, just based on performance, and it's not final build or anything. But yeah, a lot of red flags went up for me in that game. Just not even technically, just the way the gameplay worked. And they were confident saying, here's what you can expect of the final product. To a degree. They said, like, this does not necessarily reflect all final features. But it wasn't really a good test of the game,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I might get it when it goes down in price. I'll just wait for it then. And you'll know right off the bat if that game's going to be worth your money. Anyways, you give it a month, or wait for the critics to tear it apart, or give it a mediocre. All it needs to do is get torn apart to be a mediocre, and that'll be a Black Friday special this year.
Ryan actually makes a great point in the chat that if they just made the first Titanfall free, that would be pretty cool. Like, if they just worked that into it, well, it would be a little redundant because they're trying to do Apex now, but...
I just hope that, I gotta bring up YouTube chat, that they don't... I'm just hoping that, EA doesn't overstretch themselves with what they got on their plate, because, I mean, they're going to do that. They're going to do Anthem. They're obviously probably got another Battlefield in the works. I mean, EA, I mean, you got to figure they had their whole freaking Star Wars games get dropped on them. I mean, they're not really looking that great right now to me. And
nah, that
Activision,
that single player Star Wars game is apparently still coming, and that's Respawn, if I remember right.
So, is it? I thought that was canceled, but
no, that was the different
MMO.
Sort of. It was kind of the open world Destiny like one that they were going for. It was EA Vancouver, I believe. Motive is the studio, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Where so Sorry, Yoshi's tuning out because modern video games that aren't on the Switch. But and he's gone. But
oh, we're just getting going. The heck, Yoshi, come back.
If it's not on the Switch or older, then it doesn't matter, which is fine. But yeah, Ryan, the first one definitely was just online, but I mean, they would have to adjust it in order to fit a free-to-play model, like having the microtransactions and stuff in there, but I don't think that original one had them to begin with. Plus, it would come off dated now, and they would be competing against themselves with Apex out. It's a good thought, but it's just impractical for the way they actually ended up going.
Yeah, I mean, time will tell what EA's got going on. I mean, I really wish EA could bring back their old self, and I don't think that'll ever happen. I mean, you look at this. I mean, what the heck they do? Did they abandon the theme park? You know, that was a great game. I loved Theme Park, dude. You know, where's their RTSs? You know, what the hell? They ditched Command and Conquer. They ditched, you know, for a while there they had Dune, you know, in the early days, you know, they used the Command and Conquer engine, made Dune, you know, and it's like,
well, they need to Command and Conquer in some way,
you know, and it's like they're rebooting the Dune movie. It's like, why the hell, you know, EA, bring back the RTS, you know, do another Dune RTS, get people hyped, you know. I mean, I don't know. EA just really shot themselves in the foot over the years with these current gen systems, you know, since like PS2 and like PS2, they still made good stuff, but I mean, just like once the PS3, PS4, you know, it's like, what the hell? You guys just want to just trick people now, you know, and people are seeing it, you know.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not defending EA so much, but I think just kind of idolizing their past is a little bit of rose-colored glasses, because the difference between now and when you were playing EA games, like before becoming a collector and like when you were a kid and just kind of teenager and stuff like that, just people in general, not you specifically, is you were just seeing the games. You weren't seeing the marketing as much. You weren't seeing the business end of it. You weren't hearing news stories about them and their shady business practices. You were just seeing the game as it was.
Yeah.
And an occasional commercial. And you just viewed it as that. And now it's just like you're inundated with news stories of like their shady business practices and people doing just, shady business practices kind of covers all of it. And games not reviewing well and stuff like that. So it's like you are definitely seeing a bigger picture for the company in later years than you did originally. So he's like, oh, what happened to EA? It's like you started hearing stories about them on the business end is what happened, really. Because they did make good games in the past. I'm not saying that they used to be just as shit as they are now in terms of business, but it just changes your perspective.
I just
end up seeing that.
I think a lot of the current models are making people unhappy, and you look at like, you know, Blizzard's Fallout with trying to take stuff to the mobile market. You know, EA's doing that with Command and Conquer. You know, Activision, I'm sure they got something on the cell phone. You know, Fortnite, all that crap. You know, all those guys doing that, and it's like, I understand people live on their phones, but I don't live on my phone for gaming. You know, if I want to really get into a game, I want it to be on a big screen. I want surround sound. I want to be able to sit down in my couch and relax and have that in front of my face. So that's all I see, all I know. Put my phone on mute. Don't give a crap what my phone's doing. And that's it. You know, I think with these little social games and all that integrate, you know, Facebook, you know, I just beat this level, you know, I'm going to tweet this out. I'm going to do this. And like, I don't mind doing that every now and then. Like, you know, I think I did that with Onimusha when I beat it on my Twitter. I can't remember if I posted I beat it or not. But if you know, it takes a picture of that trophy and then you can tweet it out if you want.
Yeah.
And like, I think I've done that a few times. I think that's a little more like what I like with the social aspect. But
yeah,
just the cell phone gaming itself is too much for the controls it gives. I don't like it, you know.
Yeah, but
And
the thing to me is like, it's weird to think, but we're console gaming and PC stuff, and like the main like how we're used to video games now. It's kind of it shot itself in the foot to the degree that we're not the mainstream audience anymore. The mainstream audience is people that are just using their phone for the most part, or using it like on an Android box on their TV. That's the casual mainstream audience. They may have a console and get 1 or 2 games a year, but beyond that, they're not hardcore into it. But
yeah,
not like, and they're just trying to take advantage of those people. And
yeah,
like, and it's just kind of, I get it, but if they were giving people like more full experiences on the phone, I think it would catch on more. But they separate it too much. They separate what mainstream video games are, like the Call of Duties and stuff like that, away from the phone so much that they're missing what they could be doing with the phone. Which all you really need to do to make it a more practical gaming device is add controller support. People who really want to get into games on their phone, but like aren't really necessarily into a console, will just buy a controller for the phone. It's like
yeah,
when a game says we recommend you play this game with headphones. You could put a little screen up on a mobile game that says we recommend you play this game with a controller. And
yeah,
people are like, oh, look up mobile phone controllers. And they'll get
yeah.
that, and they'll get a Bluetooth controller and hook it up, and they'll get used to it and play it that way.
You know, and I mean, I would be on board with it. Like, I was intrigued by it when it first started happening. Like, they started putting more quality games and just like little click here to make action for a game. You know, if I was into it a little bit. I had a tablet, like a Z tablet that Sony came out with, those Z tablets that were big on pushing their own little mobile market. And I remember I got into that. I bought the HDMI hookups, and it could hook up a PS3 controller to it. And so I was playing these tablet games on my TV, and, you know, or setting up the tablet on its little stand and the controller, because I mean, for the time, it was a decent sized screen, nice screen on that tablet. So, you know, I was getting into it. But then it wasn't just a matter of buying the games anymore. It turned into the microtransactions here, and then the advertising, and then post this to Facebook, post this to Twitter, you know, for 10 points or whatever, you know. And it's like, no, too much. I'm done. I'm sick of it. And, you know, if they would take that kind of stuff away, and if they did figure out a way to integrate that mobile stuff into like a full game experience that could be shared upon platforms, and didn't feel like you were just trying to micro change my pocket, or, you know, microtransaction the hell out of my wallet, you know, I might like it, you know. But I mean, it's just the way gaming's going is just disappointing. And that's why I think like current like game collecting and that is getting so big too, because, you know,
People see the
you know,
practices now, and they think of how it used to be, and they go back to the old games.
Well, I mean, not just that. I mean, it's like, I got 1,000 games. I got 1,000 games that nobody can tell me, give me 10 cents, give me this, give me that. You know, it's like, I could go get lost in these 1,000 games if I want to, you know?
Yeah. But again, that's not the majority audience. And it's not an invalid point, but I think microtransactions are fine if they're done in a fair way in a free game. Like, I don't mind them in Warframe, for example. There's a bunch of stuff to play in it, but for the most part, you can get it yourself over time. The only thing that's like even a little too annoying is certain resources don't drop as quickly as you would like, and like when you go to craft a thing after you've gotten all the resources for it and bought the blueprint, it takes real time in order to craft. And so like, I don't mind it taking real time to craft. There's one item that takes a minute of real time to craft. I don't care. But when it gets like into the bigger stuff, like full character, that takes 3 days. It's like, okay, 1 or 2 would have been fine.
Yeah, the time sink of it all. You know, it's like they want you to trade money for time. And it's like, unfortunately, that's how our whole life is. And like my leisure, you know, I shouldn't have to feel is like a monetized thing. You know, I hate it.
But the thing is, I get it. It's a free game. It's huge. And they're not predatory about it. they're bad at kind of conveying how easy it is for you to get your own stuff right away. Like one of the first things you see is the market in your ship, which makes people go, "Oh, this is a pay to play, pay to win type game. I'm going to go away now." They convey that information poorly. Because if you go into that and then you just like tab to the right a little bit, it's like, oh, there's a blueprint, I can get it for 25,000 in-game currency, and that takes like 10 minutes to earn that much. So it's like it's not that big a deal. They just convey that information poorly, partially to make people who do have more money than time or cents, depending on who you're talking about, pay instead of play.
Mm-hmm.
But if they conveyed that information a little better, it wouldn't be as predatory feeling to start off. But you can even trade. There's a trading community in the game where you can trade items for the in-game currency. You don't have to spend the money. You literally do not have to spend money on the premium currency. You can go to one of the what are they called? I'm just going to say one of the stations, and there's a button where you can like hold the item above your head for what you're wanting to trade, and then someone will walk up to you, hit the thing, and offer you something for it. And you can grind rare items in the game, and then you'll sell that for platinum, the premium currency, and you can get what you need in order to play the game.
Yeah.
You don't even need to spend money on it. I only spent money on it because I had gotten 150 hours of enjoyment. They had a 50% off on a couple bundles. Like, okay, sure, $25 for a bunch of stuff. I'll do that. Thank you for the game.
Yeah.
When they're doing it a fair way like that, I don't mind. And even Overwatch isn't too bad. That's still loot boxes, and that's not great. But you're getting a full-fledged game even without that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just...
Yeah, it's kind of one of those... People are taking the wrong lessons from microtransaction mobile games, is they're just trying to be exactly the same thing but charge $60, which makes it worse. Rather than saying, hey, we're putting a couple extra bonus things in the $60 game as a secondary revenue stream, you don't need to do these things. Hey, Ryan.
Hello.
Do you have anything to add on the microtransaction?
No, but I'll just bring it back a little bit to your EA talk. After reading Console Wars, I just want to say EA has always been a shit company. So
yeah,
this isn't something new. This is something they've been like this since like the 80s. And a prime example of it is for a point in time when Sega was trying everything in their power to get EA to put Madden on the Genesis. They would only agree to it if they could make their own cartridges. That's why you have the weirder cartridges for EA games, because they didn't want to pay that fee to Sega to have the cartridges. So that's the only agreement they would ever come to have EA games on the Genesis. Yeah. But it worked, and they end up, I think, getting EA to, and most people I think don't realize that they modded Madden football to make your Joe Montana Sports Talk football. It's the same game. They slightly changed it around. So,
when I think of EA of old, though, like I said, like I think of the Genesis games, and I thought they were good. I think of like early PlayStation 2 with like the Medal of Honor and that. But once PS3 rolled out, I mean, I could probably go. I haven't even cataloged my PS3 yet, and I'm thinking about it.
Well,
I bet you I maybe have a couple EA at best.
There was a Game Informer article today that came out that said Battlefield 5 undersold what EA expected. I think it sold 7.5 million copies, and it still undersold what they predicted for them. For Battlefield
Tomb Raider
5.
syndrome.
Yeah. Where they expected the world from it, and it still underperformed by 1 million. They thought it would be 8.5.
Yeah, it's because they promised a battle royale mode and still haven't released it.
Yeah, and I think it was pretty buggy at launch too. So it was, another rush to put out product, and
a little mismanaged.
In my opinion, it's kind of hard to trust anything by EA right now. A
little.
Now I know people who actually enjoyed Anthem. And they had a good time with it. But to me, I still even wouldn't trust it. I tried it out. It was fine. To me, it's a game I know that I probably wouldn't get my money's worth in it because
Not
I
right
would have
away.
well, yeah, I have to pay $60 for the game, let's say launch, plus the online fee to play it online. Because there's no story mode, that you can't play, from my understanding, online without having online. Like there's no solo
Yeah, it's
campaign.
required for all forms of play.
So I'm looking at when I like to buy it. I want to get a full year subscription for online, and I'll milk it out for a year. So I'm looking realistically, my price. Now this, seems unfair to our Canadian friends is $120 for the game. So in Canada, I understand your games are what 90 to 100.
They're 90 after tax, but it's 80 for MSRP.
Sure. And so it's to me that price doesn't justify it, especially after I've seen how quick EA has dropped their price in games. Like if you wait a couple months, that game's gonna drop right down. But they're expecting it. They're expecting Anthem to sell like gangbusters,
and it will.
Well, yeah, I saw that article too. They're expecting it because it's whatever they did some kind of EA presser today or something too, where they expect that to sell gangbusters and it's gonna be a continuous source of revenue for them is what they're expecting, or people are gonna keep coming back to playing it, or they keep launching different packs and whatnot. So
yeah. The thing I do want to clarify on that, just you probably know this, Ryan, but just for the sake of clarifying for anyone watching and for Cody, all the future DLC for the game is supposed to be free. Kind of like how Battlefront 2 was. Except they do have the microtransaction that's cosmetic stuff. They've learned their lesson a bit from Battlefront 2. And the ideas behind their microtransaction system actually sound pretty good in terms of how those things work. The problem is they have yet to figure out, I'm sure they're aware of what they're going to charge for everything, but they haven't released how the economy is going to play out. They haven't released how much everything is going to be, like how much a skin is going to be, how much is it going to take you to earn the in-game currency, that kind of stuff.
No, this might be a rumor, sorry, but just capitalizing on what you're just saying right now, I thought they said something on Friday, like there's already a suit that's going to be like $25.
That was either a leaked image or a promo thing, and they immediately came out and said, like, that's not indicative of final pricing. That was a promo image.
Okay. And, sorry about interrupting. I
no, it's totally fine. It's a fair point. But my concern is, like, the problem they had with Battlefront 2 right away, where it was like, yeah, you could get characters in the in-game currency, but it took you, like, 40 hours to get, like, a character. It was, like, 40 hours to unlock Darth Vader, for example. I don't remember the exact examples on that. But that's my concern. They have a really good idea in there where you can take, like, if you have a little premium currency and a little of the in-game currency, and combined that would make enough to buy the thing you want. In most games, it would be one or the other, or you're screwed. In this, you can mix and match and use what you have of each to get something. So you can use a little premium currency and a little in-game, or whichever ratio you happen to have on hand. That's a really good idea if you're going to do microtransactions. And how much everything's going to be and how long the in-game currency takes to earn is the issue, the fact that we do not know that yet.
I don't think that they are, because you don't play against any other team, you just play as a team to take down NPCs, correct?
Yeah, it's PvE. There's no player versus player mode.
So you don't have to worry about, like, going into it being underpowered, you just play with a group of people. Now, if you're not playing with friends, it's the worst thing ever. So
yeah,
that's another deterrent for me. I'm not big on having to wait to line up to play with friends. When I want to play a game, I want to play a game.
The balancing solo was horrible.
What's that?
That could be a demo issue.
Pardon?
The balancing for, like, the difficulty playing solo was awful in the demo. That could have been a demo-specific issue. Like, I highly doubt that you played that tank battle in the second level, right?
Nope. I only did the first level.
Okay.
I first tried. I've been having internet problems for the last 2 weeks. And
so people have been trying to play Anthem.
Well, the cable company has been assuring me that it's been weather-related issue, and we've had some terrible weather in my area for the last week or so. But no, so the first time I tried, I couldn't get through, which is a deterrent. because it's an online game. Granted, I've had generally pretty good internet, but that's just kind of like
timing.
You want a hamper, and then when I came back to it a few hours later when my internet was repaired, the game played fine. But I'm playing with 3 strangers and we're doing the first mission. It was fine. It was
that matching puzzle. No one knows what they're doing, and
Yep.
if you're not communicating, it's just like no one can tell you, hey, the symbols are hidden around these pillars, go find which one's which.
and everyone's just spinning around, turning on the symbol, spinning around to the next one, turning it on.
Yeah, that's a bad sign when that's your first mission
Yep.
in the game. Is like, if you're not communicating, you are effed. You're going to be
I gave
running
up
around the
after
room for 10 minutes trying to wait
Yep.
until everyone figures out how to do the three picture matching puzzle.
I gave up. I quit. I was like, okay, I had my fun up until this point, and now granted, I didn't get to try out all the other suits, but
Yeah.
I guess my complaint from what I've played is in the game that I want it to be. I like some of the general concepts, but it's not exactly what I want it to be, and I can probably tell right now that it's not a game I'm gonna want to buy.
Yeah.
So,
And the fact that you were so calm about your distaste for it. Oh, there's Musty. So good timing. We'll get probably a way more positive perspective on Anthem now. But Ryan, the reason
Who, me?
someone who actually enjoyed the game is joined the Hangout.
I'm all in.
Okay,
I'm all in.
So carrying on from what I was saying to Ryan, he's got kind of a casually disinterested opinion on it from what I know.
I heard it as I was
Okay.
popping in.
So what I think there is, why you're so calm about it, is that you didn't get to play the second stage, which was balanced horribly. That tank fight.
Who? Me?
No, Ryan.
I didn't get to play the second level.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't hate the game. I just know it's not for me.
Yeah.
So it was a game that I was kind of hoping it'd be something else in whatever. It's like I said, I'm not upset. I'm glad I got to try it for free as a free demo. So I appreciate that. And I'm glad that Xbox pulled back the live, gave free live this weekend so you could actually try it out. So I really appreciate that.
We're taking full credit for that.
What?
We're taking full credit for that.
We should.
XCC effect.
So, but yeah, it's fine. It's just it's not for me. So
yeah, you're not sold on it.
No.
But Musty, have you heard like the majority of the EA and Anthem talk, or just a little bit at the end there?
I heard the Anthem talk, but
okay.
I don't need to talk about EA. Like I don't care. Like
yeah, but what I was really getting at, like leading up to with the EA and Anthem stuff, is I totally understand the wariness behind anything that EA puts out. It's totally justified. And
Sure.
like we went over earlier, Musty, just for your sake, that people wonder like, oh, what happened to EA? They used to be so good. Is like the thing that happened is you grew up and you started seeing news reports of the business end, and when you were a kid, you weren't paying attention to video game news. So you weren't seeing the shady stuff they were doing in the background, which they've already been doing the entire time. And Ryan came up with an example of that from the Console Wars book that he brings up all the time. But it's like the thing that changed is that you're seeing what's behind the scenes now.
Well, then again, EGM and everything wasn't reporting all that stuff back in the day. They were only reporting this is what's coming out, and
yeah, exactly.
This is gonna be the best Double Dragon ever, stuff like that. Even though if the game was crap or not, stuff like that. It's
all you saw at the time was the game as it is and a little bit of marketing spin.
Well, the thing is sorry to cut you off on that thing. I just don't want to forget the thought is like the thought is though, and it's changed since that time. Was like the early 2000s and that a little bit, probably before that, they were getting paid. They were getting paid for those kind of comments, and like now people, were like they were tired of the paid commentary, and now they come out in the open with it. But now it's just a matter of
people can be honest about how the game is. It's not skewed.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, the thing I was leading to with that so much was I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate for EA, and it's not that I'm defending their practices. No way in hell. But the thing that for me is it's totally fine to have that concern about it, but I tend to say, like, judge the game on what it ends up being, not what you expect it to be. Like, if there's shitty business practices going on in Anthem, it'll speak for itself. You don't have to assume what's worse. Like, there wasn't assuming the worst with Battlefront 2 because it was the worst it could possibly be. That game spoke for itself and how bad it was at the start. But like, Cody, you were making some, like, just kind of assumptions about paid DLC and stuff like that, and I'm not, like, ragging on you for that, but it's like, that's just kind of something like, judge the game for what it is, not for what you're expecting out of them because of EA. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to realize that's standard fare with EA, and I didn't see that part. So I was, stand corrected on it. Like I said, I mean, I don't think it's a bad game, but
yeah, I wasn't meaning.
I'm on board with Division. I got friends. We played the hell out of Division 1. Eventually they're gonna make a Destiny 3. I might just wait till Anthem's either a Black Friday smash hit this winter. I mean, if it doesn't do well, that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be the Black Friday front ad, PS4 game for sale, and I'll pick it up then. You know.
My thing, I think, was it was basically a long-winded version of I was looking forward kind of to Anthem, and there was enough on there just on a video game level that was throwing up red flags left and right of that game not being good. In the long term. Like, in the short term, I'm sure it'll be fine. But it's a live game. It's a service model, and it's going to be ongoing. So there's, based on other service games like that I've played, there was so much there that made me go, oh, this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good in the long run. So I'm hoping I'm wrong. But it's just like, the game speaks for itself. It's not like so much I'm judging it based on EA alone, No,
I get you. It's not the fact that it's EA alone. It's really not. I mean, like, what the heck would have what's Ubisoft. I mean, I've been buying into Ubisoft, their games, and like they're pretty much starting to do the same stuff, have been.
They have been.
And I mean, I liked The Division. I liked Wildlands, and like, but then again, I got buddies in town here that, hey, we're same time zone, same town. Hey man, let's play this after work. And that's what happened. 4 a.m. in the morning, we're all up still playing. And like, if you look at my YouTube, like, I got some Wildlands stuff on there, and me and my buddies were messing around. I mean, it got to where that game was like a good time open world sandbox. And like, we did that with Destiny too, but Destiny burned our asses when they did the first DLC content, the first expansion, where we all spent hours and hours to get that Gillahorn, spent hours and hours to get the Gillahorn. And then it was a item that you could just get right off the bat, increase your light level with buying the DLC. It was like, screw that. I mean, at that point, I think we continued on with Destiny until like, I didn't even finish it. I still have to finish the last expansion of it, the
Rise of Iron.
Taken King. Yeah, Rise of Iron. I didn't even touch. I'm at Taken King, and like I want to finish it, because I have high hopes for Destiny 3. Destiny 2. I know that's been on sale, but I might even wait. I want to get it eventually just to say I played it, but I mean, that's what I wanted Anthem to be, was definitely what Destiny was not. And like, it could be, we'll see. I mean, it could be. If it turns out to be what, Destiny, what they should have been, we'll find out. It's all going to come down to the loading and everything too in the world, I mean, there is a lot of loading for what that was. And like, it's like, damn,
Anthem is worse, trust me, because
I mean, Anthem, I played PS4 demo. And I'm saying, it's a lot of loading for what it was.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Destiny. But
I didn't come across loading issues, or time-wise, I didn't find that there was anything that was really bad. And I should preface, just so I can get in on this a little bit here.
Sorry.
I played the whole story content for that demo solo, including the tank mission that you were talking about. as the ranger, and I didn't. I mean, I dialed back the difficulty because that first mission was tough. That I had to muscle through that first mission, but I was like, you know what? If I'm going solo, it sounded like so. P1's suspicion is that they turned off the scaling for the demo to encourage and push people toward squatting up.
Again.
Well, no, toward squatting up.
No, I know, but the thing is, if people are playing solo, they're not going to go into a group unless it's with their friends.
They're not, but then when they go into free play, that was locked into public.
Yeah.
So you would always have a fourth, or always have four in that mode. When I got to then playing with people, totally different game, and it was. And then when I unlocked the interceptor, that was the moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that javelin is so much fun for me.
Yeah, that's one of the best ones. I didn't get to play the Storm, but
yeah, it's not, well. It to me, I skipped. That's like I could only pick one, so I was like, everyone else is saying the Storm is a ton of fun, and so I'm like, well, if that's the case, then I don't need to validate that with my own opinion. I trust that the people who played as the Storm, I trust their opinion, and so I was like, I wanted to try this mode with this javelin, and it's like Iron Man and Wolverine put together, and it's awesome. Like,
yeah, the melee class.
Oh, it's great. Like just zipping all over the place, and it has a third jump, and just the mobility is pretty sweet, and the look is I like the look too.
It's a good freaking class.
Yeah,
but
so I mean, I went from going into this weekend unsure and having not really committed to any like game of this kind of style. I was obviously, I needed it to show me something, and for me, I feel like it did. So now it's just a matter of, I just need to decide how I want to. It's like I don't feel like picking it up physically makes any sense.
Nah, not unless there's a sale.
Yeah, like I mean, I have a 20% off coupon at my local game shop, so I could save $12 if I went and did that. But then I just have to have the disc in at all times, and so
I'll tell you something. Sorry to cut you off, but I'll tell you something from my experience with Destiny and just games like that for a long term. My biggest regret after like a couple DLC packs for both Destinies is I should have gotten this stupid thing digitally. Like the only part of this game that I have to have the disc in for is the base game. Everything else is digital, and it's just like having to get up and switch that disc every single freaking time. It just to authenticate, right? Yeah, you just and I was like, can I just download the base client for free? I've spent $50 to $100 just on the DLC. Can I just not have to put the damn disc in?
Yeah, well, and maybe down the road they figure out a model that they can give you, give you a sell back some, like what am I saying? Sell back your digital copy or sell back your physical copy, and they'll give you a key.
Yeah, give you a license.
Right. I mean, that's someone's going to figure that out. It'd be a buyback program or something. We should say hi to Marmal, who's in the chat. Hey, Marmal.
Hey, Marmal.
And Jared too. I see.
Yeah.
He popped in a while back as well. But yeah, it is what I want. Like, it is what I was hoping it would be, and being able to play with others is going to be a huge boon to that. And we'll see. I trust. I still trust BioWare enough that. But the important thing is the gameplay loop entertaining enough for me? And to me, the answer was yes. So
yeah. Something I should clarify, because I've been heavily negative on it, is I don't think it's a bad game. It's just, and you said like this is the first kind of like aside from what we played of the campaign to Destiny 2.
Yeah, I mean, we cruised through that in like
Yeah.
3 days.
Yeah, aside from that, you're not really super familiar with online service loot shooters type thing.
Nope.
On your own games. But
I barely play. I played through the first act of Diablo 3. That's probably the closest comparison, or the closest like of that style. But yeah, it was that brief time with Destiny 2, and that's been
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than like a brief time with, Sea of Thieves isn't. I don't even want to. That's nowhere near that conversation. Although
that's not a fair comparison for anything.
I am curious someday to go back and see what has changed from like a quality of life standard and everything. Because we played that when that game was
risen to the surface. Yeah,
I mean, they're talking about their plans for their anniversary and stuff like that, and so, maybe that's something that when/if I pick up Game Pass, which keeps getting more and more like alluring.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider coming in 3 days.
That's crazy. That's all three Tomb Raiders. All 3 rebooted Tomb Raiders.
Yeah, and that's a fairly recent game.
And it shows that Square wants to play. Right? And it also shows that Square isn't going to go drop in their own streaming service on us. Their own version of EA Access or something. And
it's a little bit of a... Sorry if I'm cutting you off, but it's a little bit of a way to kind of get a little bit of a comeback after a game not doing so well at retail. It's like, oh, hey, here it is on the streaming service. Go play it there. And it's a way for the game to kind of maybe get a second chance and a second load of revenue.
Here's this huge install base. And what I think they're finding with Game Pass is that people are more willing. I mean, it's there. All you got to do is download it. So if you're at all motivated to try it out, that counts as a download for them. And I'm sure there's some kind of
percentage
compensation structure, that they get like per downloads per capita or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, however it works.
That gets them there.
There's a lot of services. I'm sure someone figured it out.
What's the price per month for a Game Pass again?
10.
Yeah,
10. That's a pretty reasonable price.
Yeah.
So they make
for the
more
cost
money on. Sorry, Yod.
I was going to say, for the cost of 2 full-priced retail games, you get access to all of that. Now, it has the Netflix model where things will drop off, but they make it clear it's not like a surprise. But then they also do discounts then, I think, in those instances, so that if you did want to just buy it digitally as they remove it from Game Pass, you can cut yourself a deal.
Yeah.
And if I'm already going to have to get, if I'll already have gold for Anthem, which I need to pick that up, but I have some Amazon gift card money that I'm sitting on that I might just throw into I was hoping that there'd be some like steep discounted, like if I could get that for like $40 somewhere, instead of 60 for a year, like that would be ideal, but they're just not doing it right now. And the timing, I had a feeling would make sense right now, because you got all these new console owners who got their accounts in December, and end of January. It's like, why not try and lock those people in to a year from that point? So I don't know where those are. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was everywhere. Like every other week, there was like huge discounts, or like buy a 3-month and get another 3-month, or that kind of thing. And it's just, I haven't seen them. But
yeah,
if I'm gonna have gold for Anthem, $10 a month for Game Pass really is not that bad. That's that's basically what I spend on like Patreon for things. Like, it's $2.50 a week. Like, I can cope with that for access to all those games. And then, I potentially, I don't know what I have that's on there right now. But I could just as easily sell those for some money to cover months of Game Pass.
Yeah, it's like whenever something goes on Games with Gold, it's like, well, it's coming off my shelf and it's going in the sell bin.
Yeah, and it's like, and do it quick. right before everyone else does it too and floods the market with it.
Would have been good had I done that. They're all just sitting in my closet.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, back to Anthem. Yeah, I was hoping to have it achieve some things, and I feel like it did for me.
Yeah, and that segues back to something I wanted to end off on for that just briefly. Is the point I was coming up to is like mentioning like the other service stuff and you not having so much experience with that. Is I have like hundreds and hundreds of hours in these types of games, so I don't think Anthem's bad at all necessarily, just on its face. But my experience with those other games and issues I've experienced with them, like after 500 hours of Destiny, stuff starts popping out at you that you weren't noticing before, of like issues of longevity. And these issues that would pop up several hours into Destiny for me, where I would start getting tired of stuff, are popping up in the demo for Anthem for me. It's like I am noticing the same problems that I would notice hundreds of hours in the first couple of hours. So that's not a good sign to me. The thing that's making me trepidatious and throwing up red flags is I'm noticing all these problems I've had with other games over a long period of time in a very short period of time. So I'm cautious. I want the game to be really good. I want them to make a lot of improvements in the final build after the demo build. I am going to, apparently, because I went the EA Access route, and I have a month of that still, on the 15th, they're going to do like the first 10 hours or something of that like. So I'm going to have access to the final build on that minus day one patches and the like. So I'm going to give it another go then, and hopefully I have a better impression. But right now, my entire point was just like, play a little devil's advocate for EA, not to defend them, but like just kind of judge the game based on like what is actually bad or good about it, not like just kind of assume the worst from EA. And that wasn't just shitting on Cody. That a lot of people were doing that. I was just using an example, but I said it in a way that came off bad, and it sounds like I was kind of like giving shit, which I didn't mean to. But yeah, I'm just trepidatious because of my previous experience with other types of games.
Sure, and there were a couple little bugs that I think we ran into. There's the one where like you're firing and the ammo's definitely counting down, but there's nothing.
Yeah,
there's no damage happening, right? Like I saw that happen once.
Yeah, the enemy is being hit, but they're not going down.
Yeah, and so I mean, there's so many people line up for Bethesda open world RPGs on day one, and you know, bugs are a thing that
reality. Unfortunately,
bugs are a reality. The thing is, we have a vehicle to fix them if the developer is willing to do that, and really at launch they should. And they should take user feedback, and if they're finding that the Colossus is not fun to play, then they need to find a way to they need to find a way to fix that, right? If everyone's like, oh, storm or bust, then then there's something that has to be done to
there's something wrong
to clean
there.
that up.
Like, when I said when we were playing, it's like, the storm might be great, but one of 4 characters being good is not the fun. That's not a good sign if only one of 4 characters is actually well balanced enough to be enjoyable.
Yeah,
and
so
you
for
said
me,
the Interceptor is fine, but like
the two I played, I'm happy with, and I have faith that the storm would also work for me. But that's not my the storm is not really my play style, and so who knows?
So like, I was having balance issues with like that tank level, and the Colossus just was antithetical. People call Storm the glass cannon, which is it makes sense. It's like a floating character.
Well, they use that term when they were like revealing it. They were like, "This is the easiest way to explain how much how this character plays."
Weaker armor, more flight, ability based. It's basically your magic class. In the game, it's like stay far away, stay in the air, dodge the enemy fire from there, and throw down abilities. That's what that character is supposed to be. And a tank in the game is supposed to eat a bunch of damage and dole even more out. The Colossus in this game is a glass tank.
Interesting.
It is the squishiest tank character I've ever played as, and the thing that makes it even worse is one of the ways they alter the classes in this game is they take abilities away. Like, one has more of one ability, or one doesn't have this one. Like, when you play Ranger, for example, just using the ones you played, His melee is just like whack, and then he has to reload, whack. Whereas the Interceptor is just like constant melee. Like you just hitting over and over and over, because that's the purposes of each of those characters, but it's like you're basically going from no melee whatsoever to all the melee ever.
Mhm.
That's like one of the major key differences between those characters, and Interceptor is faster, has less health. That's how you do.
Has less health, but I didn't feel it. Like,
yeah, you definitely die less because you can get in and out much faster.
Yeah, I got out of there relatively quickly, and part of that is that you're on the ground most of the time, so your thrusters or whatever they're gonna call the mobility boosters, were readily available at all times.
Oh yeah.
For me.
So picture this. A character that's about as squishy as the Javelin if you were standing still. Not Javelin, the Interceptor. But with no shield and no dodge button.
Yeah.
That's the Colossus.
So, I mean, the thing that I see is like these demos are not only a chance to advertise the game, but it's also a huge information gathering session about how people are playing their game as well. And so you now have, what is it, like 40 million hours of just over the 2 weekends, right? You've got like all that data that they can pull out and be able to see, right? Like
at least a couple million of those being loading screens.
Not if you have an Xbox One X.
If that first weekend where it was just infinite loading screens.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I heard of those.
Yeah, I was making a joke.
The fact that those issues were not present in the public demo is a good sign, and I think that's good to know. But
they were transparent about that. It was just like they tested a whole bunch in-house.
In that first mission though, where you have to walk into the tunnel to scan the body and then walk right out.
Yeah, it's just like you walk a couple feet and then you're in a loading screen again. That was infuriating.
That was really kind of. I don't think that was really good level design. I wish they could just put the body outside of a cave or something, like, and then continue on as opposed to walking in, load, walking out. I had to do it twice because I tried doing it once with P1 on Saturday, and then that didn't work because my internet kept dropping, and then I had to do it again later on when my internet was actually working.
Yeah, it's stuff like that was like throwing up red flags for me and just making me curious. I just kept running into stuff like that, which is why I'm so on guard about purchasing it right away.
Makes sense. Yeah. What do you guys think about Xbox Live coming to Switch?
Oh yeah, that's going to be interesting. 1 second. Speaking of Anthem and stuff, hey P1 in the chat.
Hello, P1. So I remember a Hangout.
What about Chemical Romance?
I don't know.
What in the hell are you talking about, P1?
I remember a Hangout before they revealed the Switch, where I said that the NX was a joint venture between Nintendo and Microsoft, because that was before the Scorpio was a thing. So I said it. Not entirely how it ended up, but
no. And this isn't going to be, at least from what I've been hearing, this isn't immediately going to be like, you can play Xbox games on your Switch. It's mostly going to be like, at least to start, it's going to be kind of how the mobile app is.
Yeah.
Which is like
the mobile app services. The mobile app has a pretty great
party system.
Yeah.
The grand irony of the Xbox app is that sorry, P1 commented again, that distracted me. But the grand irony is like the first thing that happened is when the Nintendo app came up, it's like you have to use that to do the voice chat, and people were like, oh, this sucks. It's like the first thing I do on Xbox when my headset's acting up is like, oh, I'll just use the mobile app instead, and it works great. So I do not mind at all using that for Xbox but for the way they handled it on Nintendo, it was not fantastic. Yeah, Xbox Live is just the social features.
So I guess I don't quite get, what they're doing with the Xbox Live on the Nintendo, but
on the Switch.
Yeah, it's kind
Most
of.
people do, sorry, Yod. Anyway,
I just don't know what's going on with it.
yeah, what I was going to say was that most people aren't really completely clear on what it's going to be, but apparently they're going to be talking about it at GDC, as that's what's kind of, this was a tease for. Hey, Steven, in the chat.
So we'll get more data. Hello, Steven.
Yeah.
We'll get more data, or like more reveal of that at that point.
Yeah,
Did
this is
they
more,
officially
this may
say
have
that
been,
today? About
GameSpot actually posted it, and it wasn't like rumor or speculation. It was like Xbox Live is coming to Switch.
yeah, I think at first it was more of a leak than anything, or an initial tease, not a full-fledged announcement and list of features.
Yeah.
I gotta jump back for a second. P1, what in the hell were you talking about with My Chemical Romance? I'm still confused.
Trying to think if something that we were said during the Anthem talk, or
Yeah. Maybe it was an Anthem joke.
possible.
All I can think of now is, God, if I can.
Will
Hopefully, nope. That's not.
Xbox Live on Switch be a smash hit? Signs say, yaha!
Indeed. Apparently, it was a joke about your hair, Musty.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I pulled out a volume of Aquaman from my shelf. I didn't mean to do that. I was going to make a joke about how Gerard Way, the lead singer for My Chemical Romance, the only reason I know that is because he had a imprint at DC Comics, The Young Animal, where he had like Doom Patrol and Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye and a bunch of unique comics. They're pretty good, actually. The Penny Parker character from Into the Spider-Verse, that was from a Gerard Way comic with the Spider-Mech.
This is all over my head. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just like the singer from My Chemical Romance is a comic artist and writer, and he's done a bunch of interesting stuff. Oh, okay. I didn't know what MCR stood for a second. Hey, I agree. I'm just saying Gerard Way is a good comic writer.
So Steven asks if anyone has tried Apex
Legends.
yet. Yeah.
Me and Cody talked about it a little bit at the start. We haven't tried it yet, or I haven't. Cody, did you say you tried it? I don't remember.
No, I have it downloaded. I haven't tried it yet.
Okay, Musty, Ryan, you guys have any experience with it?
Haven't.
Came out yesterday. I played Catherine yesterday. I know Musty played it yesterday. I haven't played anything today, so
yeah. I beat Donut County today.
Yeah, I saw your tweet. I assume that was a pun.
Yeah. Yes. If you play the game, you'll understand. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. So don't take that that comment as literally as it looks. Yeah, I had a good time, and I'll admit my son played probably a third of it, if not more, which is great because like it's that simple and not frustrating, and even the puzzles he was picking up on, which was great. Like I tried to put him in front of Katamari once, and just the 2-stick thing, he just wasn't getting it. But this was like just move it around. If it's smaller, it'll fall in the hole.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
was gonna say about Apex Legends, right? That's what.
Yeah, I just want to pause for 1 second before we get into that, because Marvel said he liked Penny Parker in Into the Spider-Verse. I haven't seen that movie yet, but if you liked that character, you should check out the Edge of Spider-Verse comic from Marvel, because that was like a thing where they introduced a bunch of those alternate characters. That's where Gwen Stacy's Ghost Spider is what she was in that movie. That version of Gwen Stacy came from there, and Penny Parker is in there. You can get that on Marvel Unlimited if you want to try that out.
I thought she first appeared in a Howard the Duck comic.
Spider-Gwen?
Yeah.
No, that was probably Gwenpool. Yes, comics are weird.
I don't know. I mean, I can Google.
Maybe she was an alternate cover for that, because I think it was a variant cover thing, and then they did the story in that, and then it moved on popularity-wise into its own comic. Comics are weird. Back to Apex Legends. Eric.
Hello.
Eric. Hello.
Hello.
But yeah, I saw the Mad Dash yesterday when they revealed it and said, "Hey, it's out now," which is really a kind of crazy reveal plan for them, right? To have this studio and all of a sudden it's like, boom, here's the game, and we're not gonna wait. We're not gonna draw this out. It's here now. Go for it. And like they had 1 million people within the first 8 hours
Sounds
who
right.
played the game. Like it's interesting because you see a little bit of the way that people want to be in that style of game. People want to be the elite player, right? The one, because it means, if they're streamers, it means attention. If it, a whole bunch of other things. And so it's like, here's this mad dash to go learn the maps, learn the gameplay and all that stuff. And it was wild because for a while there, like it immediately shot past Fortnite for, I don't know if it still is, but and P1, to answer your question about Sea of Thieves, I'm not sure. We were talking about it earlier about it'd be interesting to go back and see what the quality of life stuff is now. It's I don't know.
Are you asking if Sea of Thieves is still PvP or if Apex is?
I think he's asking. Well, no, he said, did they make changes to?
No, but then he says still PvP, but I'm not sure which game he's referring to.
He's talking about Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I believe that yes, you can, but I think at this stage it's like they may have weeded out the griefers, but because at some point that gets tiring, right?
Yeah.
Or just boring to them. But I don't know. So I cannot speak to that. But if you have a friend who plays it and they're willing to go onto the Sea of Thieves website, you can get 3 additional keys for it. And that includes people who have Game Pass. So if you wanted to try it out, now's the time. But again, gold.
Steven said, all I want to do in that game is spam the accordion.
That's what Miles.
That's where I had the most fun in that game, mostly.
That's what Miles was doing.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, it makes sense that Apex is top on Twitch because like that's the initial like
it's
Shadow
the
Drop game hype.
It's new hotness, right?
Yeah, like Radical Heights had that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to look up what the name of that game was the other day when I was making an example. But,
it's the Soulja Boy console equivalent on Twitch or something.
No,
I don't think so. Anyway,
I was making Soulja Boy videos for a minute.
Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, have those died at this point?
Oh yeah, those are long
They still
dead.
trickle up every once in a while. Believe me, I'll see it pop up.
But it's like most of the people doing Soulja Boy
fantastic.
videos are doing like the original rip-off consoles that he's trying to sell. Like the original versions of those, like the Fuse, like the Chinese consoles.
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird. I don't want to get into it, but it's very weird.
Yeah. But it's just funny how it seems like people I didn't think would do it were doing videos on it, and I'm like, I don't care, man. Like just stop. I know people were just because it was getting views.
Yeah. I mean, you got to find if you're re-res, right? You've got to find that thing that no one else is doing, and that was he apparently played every game on one of them.
Yeah, like the 8,000 game console. I think P1's confused because he was gone while all this was happening. But
there was like a month and a half rain.
Oh, I thought he was pretending to be Doc Brown for a second. Soulja Boy, the rapper? No.
Why is everything so heavy in the future? Is there something wrong with its gravitational pull?
Yes. I suppose Jay-Z is the Secretary of the Interior.
I haven't seen those movies in a long time. I need to watch them again.
Luke's a Jedi.
Okay, I'm not sure what's happening anymore. But I don't want to talk about Soulja Boy. Look it up. Anyway,
Yeah.
New hotness.
Yeah, the game looks good. It's a battle royale, so I have no interest in it whatsoever. But it does look like a very good one of those. The squad setup and the hero character setup makes it interesting. More interesting, I should say. And of course, like a AAA quality battle royale game for free, so that's not nothing.
Kind of makes you think about like every battle royale game now should be free, right?
It is kind of. I mean, that's kind. It either needs to be a mode. Well, like because Call of Duty
Battlefield are figuring that out now.
Call of Duty stripped out their single player to put in the BR mode.
Yeah.
And if they had put in the BR mode as instead of being a replacement, but in addition to a single player and the multiplayer suite, it would have looked very, very different, I think. But those games, like, no one's talking. I mean, nobody except those who are like deep in the community for those games is really talking about them anymore.
Sean, if you're serious about not knowing what's happening, look up the re-res videos on it. It's insane. On the Soldier Boy console stuff. Like, go back to the earlier ones.
Yeah, it's like he just bought a bunch of them on AliExpress, rebranded them, and is now selling them himself.
Or was trying to, but
or was attempting to, and
they're
got
full
his
of pirated games that he could get sued for.
Well, then because when he came out after Nintendo for a second, and then what's it called? Like he had to take that down, that tweet or something like that too. So
Yeah, it was
because they were filled with Nintendo ROMs on them.
Oh yeah, it was like 8,000 and something odd games in one. And it was like, God, who even thinks that's a good idea? Clearly Soldier Boy, but anyway.
I mean, his name's all over the place because of it. Whether or not he actually sells one, his name is back in the public eye for something that isn't like jail time yet.
Yeah, all publicity is good publicity and all that.
Thank you. Well, that's welcome to 2019.
Yeah. I mean, Liam Neeson might not be agreeing right now. But whatever. Let's not get into that. But then,
yeah. Well, while we talk about things that are risque, anyone else playing? Eric, did you get in any Catherine?
No, I haven't started it yet.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you don't need to apologize.
I'd be more surprised seeing Eric play a game. Hey-o.
Oh, man.
I don't know though, man. I intended to play it, but I was watching your stream yesterday, and was it yesterday? Or Sunday?
It was last night.
Last night? I don't know, man.
Yeah, yesterday.
I still got to give it a try.
I gotta step away for a second. I've been talking for a while, and I'm out of water. Be back.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I would encourage everyone, who. Try it on normal, start on normal. If you find that you're running into that in that portion of the game, if you're running into a lot of frustration, dial it back. Don't, because really all that does is it just increases the time that you have to make choices. But it is difficult. I'm not going to joke about that. You saw that a little bit yesterday, especially if you caught the end, because I did not end on a happy note. Yeah, it's I enjoy it, and it's interesting because it's probably the most adult themed game, like just subject matter wise, that I think the club has ever selected, or that has been ever selected for a Prime game. But I think the podcast is going to be a lot of fun.
Catherine's going to be an interesting discussion.
Well, we couldn't pass up the opportunity for Catherine to be on it, and Travis is going to be the other guest.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fitting that I use the word discuss then.
Discuss. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a good time. But yeah, it's like I had to very much like sit my son down, because during Shantae month it was like, yeah, come hang out, watch this game. It's colorful, it's fun, it's like a cartoon. And I'm like, you cannot come downstairs.
This one's very much
No.
colorful and a
you can't-
cartoon.
It
Catherine
does
is
look like
two
a
of those
cartoon.
things. Catherine is two of those three things.
Yeah. It's colorful in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's colorful and like a cartoon, but not one your kids want to watch.
Yeah. It's like, no, dude.
Yeah, read it out loud what's happening here too. Read the text messages out loud and
Yeah.
let them know what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Just wait till the pictures start coming.
Ew. It's my kind of game.
It's wild. It's wild. The story goes places.
I think there's a word that is not cartoon for the types of images that are in that game.
Hentai?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
It's called hentai, and it's art.
I need it.
That Office clip, so good. Can't believe they cut that. I never got into The Office, but it astounds me that they didn't use that joke.
There's a great. I love the Kenny Powers K-Swiss commercials when he actually was the sponsor for K-Swiss, and he's like, my demands are, and he just gives them a list of the demands, and they're like, what's boo cake porno? And he's like, it's an art and I need it,
Oh God.
But yeah, I'm enjoying what I played. I only played 2 levels last night, and then
Yoshi's missing some jokes he'd actually understand.
he probably did the game.
Anyway.
yeah, it gets crazy, and yeah, at the point that I had to stop, like, it'll be interesting to be like, that's how I'll have to kick off the next stream. I'm kind of trying to think of how I do that, because there will eventually be games that I can't finish in 3 sittings. This one might fit that category, maybe, because I'm almost to the end of night 3, and there's 8 nights.
Is that right? There's only 8 nights?
Yep. They tell you that in the second level that like you have to survive 8 nights.
Yeah.
I was just looking up how long to beat.
It's like 11, I think, 11 hours.
This says 13 hours. Main
It's
story.
probably mostly because of the cutscenes, though. There's a lot of cutscenes.
Yeah, it depends on how much you want to sit around and talk to people in the bar.
Mhm.
If you play the arcade, if you go through all those conversations and things like that. Some of the stuff, yeah, like some of those cutscenes are longer, and so like I'm trying to think of how like riveting of a stream does that make, but I don't know. Seemed to work. Seemed to be okay. And with the amount of dialogue, it's like it's nice because I can actually just like be quiet for a little bit. Oh, P1's back.
It took a second for it to show up for me, but yeah.
How many sheep have I saved? I'm focusing on saving 1 sheep.
Exactly. I do like though the questions that you get and you see the results from people's. You don't get to see like as opposed to, let's say, like a Telltale game, or is it Telltale or Telltale?
Telltale.
Anyways.
Telltale gives the actual percentages, right?
Yeah, and you could also really see your friends' votes, I believe, too. Like your friends, like percentage amongst your friends, too.
Yeah.
Their choices. Now, granted, this one is basically you see like the choice, like between 2 questions,
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting to like. I'm sure there'll be some stuff in the podcast where we talk about some of that. I might need to go back and catch the answers, which should be relatively easy to scrub through the Twitch footage. But yeah, what I was getting at was
We should
For
use
games-
these questions for polls for these polls leading up to it, like we always do.
The
polls?
We totally
Like-
should.
Like, if you're gonna be with someone, would you prefer them to be older or younger?
So here's roughly what the game playing audience said, and then here's what the Cartridge Club said. But yeah.
Polykill would definitely do that poll. Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah. You say Polykill will do that?
Yeah, that sounds like a Polykill thing. That they would do the polls for the questions from that game.
Yeah. But
That would be funny.
so yeah, what I was trying to get at is when there is a like, I'm committed to doing the Monday stream, and like for Shantae, it was like I decided to do a Wednesday one to make sure that I got it beaten in time. So what happens when it's a 30-hour game? Like, do I have to do like? Do you? And maybe this question is more for people who watch streams, right? Like, in a game like that, in a story-based game that is 20 to 30 hours, like, if you're watching somebody on stream and you miss, they do stuff off stream, like, is that a like no, or like what is kind of public sentiment on that?
What do you mean they do stuff off stream? Like they played a little bit of the game, but they didn't stream it?
Yeah, like if let me just throw a recent example out, right? Like, if we had God of War as a game of the month, I choose that just because people have a general idea of how the length of that game. You know, if I had the 3 to 4 sessions on Monday nights to stream it, that's not enough time to finish the game. So, is it a big deal if I do portions between off stream, or is it like, are people like in it for the long haul and want to see start to finish?
Start to finish usually,
I prefer to see
but
start to finish, Musty. But the thing is, you're also not, I think, a committed streamer,
not a full-time streamer. Yeah,
yeah. That's the only thing they do is make that, and that's the only thing they make. If that's the case, then yeah, you have to show everything. I don't think in your case you need to.
I would say stuff
think
that you could skip on a God of War type game, like stuff you could do off stream, would be like the side content, like to beef your character up between story missions.
Sure.
But
Like
all the story missions, you want to do those.
Today I'm going to go look for these. Yeah, I'm going to go look for all these items and just not waste time in the mundane kind of stuff.
Yeah, like a game that people will stream from beginning to end very frequently, but do like grindy type stuff off screen is Dark Souls. And like, for example, someone I watched before on the very, like, I only watched a stream of that once, but like there's this thing that you can do with like the tail of a dragon where you can get a specific sword if you do that, and it takes like a lot of arrows. So they did all the grinding for that specific item off, and then they came back.
Okay.
But that kind of thing, you just like, for the main text of the game, you want to do as much on as possible.
Gotcha.
Because there are people that do watch streams that will not play the game.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I wanted to add this, is so that, if you couldn't pick it up, if you wanted to see it but you didn't really care to play it, this is a thing now. So, I just wanted to get a feel for that. Like, I don't mind planning ahead and maybe having a second one in the week. It's just I can't guarantee that stuff, and if it comes down to crunch time, I may have to finish it without being on stream, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge if we have to, but I at least want to get some opinions as far as whether that's a faux pas or not.
Usually, yeah.
Have you thought about uploading your streams to your YouTube page?
Not yet. I would need to figure out how to push it from, I'd have to download it and upload it. Since it's on the club Twitch, it can push to the club YouTube, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it makes sense to put it on the club YouTube or put it on my own. It'd be really nice to just supplement my own supplement my own lack of content lately on my channel, but it is something that I'm doing on a regular basis, and I just don't feel like doing like I could do restream and have it go to the club Twitch and my own personal YouTube, but I feel like I've got something set up well enough right now that I don't want to mess with it too much. We'll see. But I don't think that's a bad idea. I just don't know whether it makes more sense to put it on, say, the club's channel versus my own.
I think probably yours, but give it a catchy name like Musty Plays or something.
Let's wordsmith this.
Wordsmith.
Let's do it.
God.
Musty Plays. It's the only thing I can think of.
Musty, hot and sweaty, musty sessions.
Musty Sessions. There you go.
Yeah.
The musty sessions.
Yeah.
I've got nothing. I'm usually the one with the bad freaking puns, but I've got nothing.
Steven says, in the Hobbit hole. P1,
How
that's
am I
not
the
very
host?
nice.
It's not bad.
How am I the host when you're seeing the comments before I am? There's
What do
a
you mean?
slight delay for me. Like the comments will pop up like after you've read them. I don't get it.
Oh, weird. I
YouTube
don't
being
know.
weird for me. Whatever. Doesn't matter. That's just why I'm delayed occasionally on my responses.
Jeez, P1. Brutal. You cut me.
He's a real keyboard warrior, that
That's
being
yeah, no kidding. How's the Cartridge Bros channel coming along?
Yeah. Waiting for that weekly to drop, right?
Come to Iowa
yeah.
and say that.
Yeah.
In
due time. We'll get there.
Did you guys see
We-
Bubsy
Nah.
did a Kickstarter?
Cartridge Club now will return later.
Now is
Become never.
yeah. I need to
No
buy
more.
I need to buy a Billy bookcase for the shelf that I'll be putting that on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to do pickups now? Like an hour and a half into this.
Well, we can talk about the Bubsy thing real quick.
What Bubsy thing?
They announced the Bubsy Kickstarter today, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
Is it supposed to be mature, or is that just a dumb joke?
I think that was a joke.
Okay.
This isn't for the game though. This is for the add-on content.
Oh, I thought it was...
And it's for add-on content, a soundtrack, and then an exclusive physical edition, I guess, of it. And Choice Provisions is the one actually making it with Accolade, and I think that's the guys behind the Bit Trip Runner. So it's going to be like a Bit Trip Runner with Bubsy-esque type game. Looks pretty good, actually. I'm kind of excited for it. But then again, I also am a fan of the Black Sheep. I like Bubsy, so. But for $50, you can get the game on disc with all that, and so.
Still wouldn't mind trying out the new one, but it's definitely not something I'm dying for.
Woolly Strike Back wasn't hard. It was just, it was pretty short. But I feel like people just give it such a bad rap because of Bubsy 3D. I don't think there was anything wrong with the Bubsy 16-bit games.
Okay, now we can do pickups.
Yep.
I have nothing to contribute to Bubsy, so don't worry.
No. Most people don't worry.
Haters.
Okay, so
I'll go
should I go?
first.
I've just got a couple comics that no one cares about.
You want to go?
Yeah, I can get that out of the way pretty quick. Okay, so this week I've just got this Brave and the Bold Batman and Wonder Woman story that came out semi-recently. It's a miniseries. Some really good art in here, and I've heard good things about it. So, a little disappointed it's a regular-sized hardcover and not an oversized, but deal with it. And the bigger of the two items, obviously, from the size of it, is the Super Sons Omnibus. Continue on with the Peter Tomasi Batman stuff. Pretty much. Got the Batman and Robin omnibus from him, so continue on with this. I've read the first 2 volumes of it, and it's pretty good. But that's it.
Nice.
I can go next. I got some stuffs.
Okay.
So first thing, I got this as a pre-order bonus for Resident Evil 2, and I returned my original one because I really wasn't happy with the condition. At first I thought it was, and I'll just show it right now. It's a steel book for Resident Evil 2. So when I originally went and picked it up, they just put it in a bag and gave it to me. So when I got home, I noticed it was all dented. It was like all of the top dented, all right here. And for a minute, I thought like it was actually chewed on. I was like, oh, maybe that's just part of the thing. It's zombie, maybe it's chewed on. But then I was just like, I don't know. So I brought it back and returned it. And I showed it to the clerk, and he's like, no, it's not supposed to be like that. I know because I have this myself. So they went and checked the back, and they said they had a few more, so they went and got me a fresh one that is not dented. So
sure, my dog ate my pre-order bonus.
Well, he said for a second, I thought maybe that's what it was. That was the gimmick. So I picked these up on Sunday because they were on sale this week at Best Buy, and my friend still has the Gamers Club discount. So I picked up Not As Good Shenmue 6 and Not As Good Shenmue 2.
What do you mean, not as good?
Two.
He's saying they're not Shenmue.
Okay.
Or as good.
They're trying to be Shenmue.
Yes. And this game was because it was only $4. It's kind of another Jackbox games, but it's now just power. But it's like get your friends to play with their cell phones, put it in, questions, blah blah blah. So I like these games, and for $4 I'll pick it up. So, and then lastly, I got picked this up last week. I saw it at the store. I kept the price on it because I know Bill, when he tunes and watches it, he likes to see the price. I picked up a Sega Saturn arcade stick. It was $20. It was below eBay price, so I picked it up because I play a lot of arcade games on my Saturn. So
Nice.
So official Sega one. So that's it.
You badass. Sorry.
I know.
Cody, you have stuff?
Yeah, I got a few. Hold on, I gotta grab something. This will make you laugh.
Okay. While he's doing that, Eric and Musty, do you have anything?
Pickups? No.
Okay.
Donut County. That's the
All
only
right.
thing I picked up, but it's only digital. So
Yep.
Here it is.
I'm pretty PO'd about this, man. Got this from a guy, and I've been trying to get one of these. I had one and wish I would have never sold it, but when I was selling off that store I'd bought out, I sold one of these with it. And
Something looks like it's missing.
yeah, he shipped it in this, dude.
Yeah.
He shipped it in this, and then he put a toilet paper roll on it. It looks like this around the stick.
Only the most high quality of packing materials.
Yeah, and the stick snapped right at the base here too. Like,
Get that JB Weld.
oh, it's broke right down to the core. There's a YouTube video that somebody linked that a guy fixed one, but I don't know. Oaz Gaming said he might pick it up off me. I won another one for like $50 with a Model 1 Genesis, and it has I don't have one of the 3-button red controllers, so it came with one of those too, the red etched ones, and the stick for like $50 with the shipping. So I was like, all right. And hopefully, I'm kind of hoping it's a Model 1, the first revision of it that doesn't have the whatever the hell it is, that DRM or whatever. It'll basically play any of the game cartridges. I think I got some more stuff. I don't know where it's at though. I can't remember where the hell it's at. Universal Soldier. Frickin' Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's a badass.
Goldberg's in the sequel.
What's that?
Goldberg's in the sequel, the wrestler.
Yeah, I actually found some of the Universal Soldier movies in a pawn shop for like $1, so I bought them
That
on
makes sense.
Blu-ray. Got this one to complete the set. There's 4 of them, so I got them all now.
Which one? One of
Oh,
what?
that was Solitaire.
Yeah.
There's Solitaire, Gin Rummy, Poker, and Blackjack.
Okie dokie.
Yep. I got this complete. Not that it's a great game, but I got it for a few bucks. And
Musty's wants that one, right?
What's that? I have that.
Oh, okay.
yeah, dude, like I got it from Florida, and it took them like 2 weeks to mail it. It overshot me up here, and yeah, it took like 2 weeks. I was like, man, I hope it ain't all busted up. But I can't remember if I showed these. Go ahead.
It's the Marky Mark one and the NXS one are the two that I don't have of those like music video series.
And there's also Crisscross. Do you got?
I have that. I
Crisscross?
have that one. Yeah,
Okay.
I have Power Factory and I have Crisscross.
I hear they're garbage, but
They're a novelty. I mean,
Yeah.
you like FMV stuff too, so it's
Yeah.
kind of
you'll love
ridiculous.
This garbage. You'll love
And-
this garbage.
You'll love the garbage.
Yep.
And Phil Lamar is in that game, like prominently in that game.
Well, that's what I
From
like
Mad-
about
from
those
Mad
old
TV.
FMV is when they get like actors like Ironside. You know, when he
Hmm.
was into the games, Michael Ironside.
Mhm.
Yeah, that guy's such a badass. You know, and like
Are you done, by the way?
who else? No, I got some more.
Okay. Not saying to
Uh,
move on. I just wanted to know if I should unpresent you. But go ahead.
Oh, Dog's Life. I don't know if I showed
Hmm.
this last week or not.
I don't think you did.
Not that
Yeah.
it's memorable.
Yep. I heard that the dog can like mate with another one and pee on legs and stuff.
What are you into?
The question is that
I'm
is
buying
Dog Life
this.
better or the Dog Island?
Oh, Dog Island is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Monkey Ball, Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. I've never played one. So got my Sega mouse finally. That was brand new. I'm gonna crack it open though. I did get this, tested it out at Boots, but I can't get anything to come up on it. I know you need cable hooked to it, but I've been seeing people posting videos of somehow they're getting it booted and it'll have whatever's. I don't know. I'm gonna try to hook it up to a cable somewhere and see if it's just something it needs to read. I don't know, but it does boot up, but it just tells you need to have it hooked up to cable. I had one of those growing up, so I don't know. I really wanted to get it again just to have it for nostalgia, I guess. Then I got this finally, Eric.
Power base converter.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, and it didn't have the manual or the instruction, or it didn't have the manual or the ferrite core thing.
Mhm.
So I found it like literally a day or two later. I just searched for a power base converter manual, found it. So I'm going to get a manual still in the bag with the little screw and the ferrite core that goes around the 3D glasses for like $10.
Oh, good. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
have the screw.
You know what? Good thing is though, this one I got came with the screw, so I'll
Nice.
hook you up with a screw.
Oh, that'd be great.
So
Yeah.
$20 eBay price for that screw. Just kidding, Eric.
Well,
yeah,
that's
no.
why I haven't bought one yet.
No, I'll hook you up, man. I'll hook you up with it. It's just a screw.
Yeah, thanks. Man.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Okay. Good pickups.
Yeah, good pickups.
Thank you.
Ryan, since you're the only one that might, do you have any thoughts on those comics I showed?
No.
I didn't think so, but I had to try.
Sure. No, it's just not what I'm into at the moment, I guess. So
Yeah, it's fine. You're more on the Marvel end.
yeah.
I am gonna say though, I think that I'm gonna take a break from collecting for. This was kind of pricey here, and like it's more than I need to be spending right now. And I got stuff coming up. I'm gonna be going back to work here in like a month and a half or so, and I'm not gonna have time for this stuff anymore. So I'm gonna take a break and maybe resume up around PRGE again. But I might pick a few things up around summer. But I'm gonna take a big break. I got some master stuff coming. That basically completes probably another 5 Master System games that I needed. And I'm looking at some European ones that I really want right now. I might do those, but basically I got Psycho Fox coming too. And, I had to spend more than I really wanted to, but I found it in France of all places, an English version with it was all English. Everything was English on the back of the box, and it had the English manual. So pretty sure it's English.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if it would have been a different region, it would have had the 4 different languages on it.
Yep.
But so yeah, I don't know. I'm really thinking that I've been straying too far away from my original goal, and that was to get a full set of Master Systems. So it's like, man, I need to get back on track with that,
That's a good goal, right, Catherine?
I'm thinking about selling off my NES stuff. I mean, I'm really on the fence, back and forth in my mind on it, but it's like I'm collecting for Master System, I'm collecting for Genesis, I'm collecting for CD, collecting for Saturn, collecting for Dreamcast. It's like, and then any PS3 Sega game or PS4 release I'm buying, and it's like I'm collecting Sega stuff, and it's like I just need to get out of this NES thing.
It's good to have focus.
And 32X, I really, seeing Eric's 32X back there makes me jelly.
Really?
Yes, I want 32X.
As a Sega
too.
fan, I will not speak highly of that console. Highly at all. It's pretty much tripe.
I am thinking about doing some WATA too, dude. I'm thinking about sending off my sealed copy of Golden Axe to WATA, and then my sealed copy of Space Harrier 32X for a couple graded pieces.
Graded, unplayable.
But I mean, those are commons, but it'd be pretty cool just to have, Golden Axe, pretty big name, Space Harrier, pretty big name, lock it away.
Yeah, I was going to tell Ryan, Space Harrier on the 32X, Afterburner, Virtual Racing. Those are all fantastic ports.
Yeah, but there's also like better versions of them, like on the Saturn. So.
Calibri's pretty good game.
Calibri,
Knuckles.
That's the one I wish I hadn't sold.
Knuckles Chaotic.
Calibri, that was a big regret.
You can see Eric just looking away, dude, like, why?
I almost had a whole collection.
Calibri?
I almost had a whole collection. I sold off half. Calibri was one I definitely should have kept. There are others I don't mind.
Don't worry, you can play them on your flash drive, though.
That's true. I haven't tried 32X yet on the flash drive. I should try that out.
It says it's supported.
Yeah, I know.
Put it on the 32X.
I believe it. I just never tried it. Because I got it right after Black Friday, and I was doing all those Master System videos, so I used it primarily for that.
One more quick question, Eric, on Master System is, you know that game Secret Command?
Yeah, I think that's an import.
Yeah, it's a European.
I don't know it very well. What about it?
Well, I came across a copy, couple bucks, and it has a American manual, an American position manual. You know, the
portrait,
booklet?
like it's vertical.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that's a variant. I was like, dude, I wonder if this is a variant.
I don't know. I never knew about that. Oh, Secret Command. Oh, I was going to ask. That's just Rambo.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
knew that.
Rambo.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I've never heard of that. I know. That might not be the only one. Like my Golden Axe Warrior has only English manual and case, but it doesn't have the UPC. It's got a foreign UPC on it. So there might have been some that were released with that kind of style overseas, but
yeah, I did.
I don't know the rule on
no
that.
UPC on it. There's one that is a no UPC.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll have to look into that. I don't know much about the foreign release stuff. I mean, I can tell you with certainty that in the US they were all, well, RC Grand Prix I think has a landscape manual, but yeah, no, I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd have to look into that to learn what the deal with that one is.
You know, there's
Cool.
a lot of holes in that Sega Retro site too. Like, if you ever been to Sega Retro and checked it out,
I probably have, although I don't.
like
I
you
don't
could
spend a lot of
submit,
time there.
you could submit. Like they have a lot of room for submittals still.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And I was kind of looking at some stuff, and I was like, hey, you know, maybe I should go through and see what, you know, could come up with.
Yeah. One I go to a lot
need
is
images.
SMS.
They need images and stuff.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Got all quiet.
Is someone yapping? Okay.
No, bombing the stream with SMS now.
Well, there's only a few of us.
I'm looking through. Scott posted a thread not too different from my own, only like 5 times longer than mine.
For games.
Yeah.
For selling?
Yeah.
So it sounds like your thread got some activity because of
Interesting.
your tweet.
Well, yeah, I felt really like uncomfortable putting it out there like that. But
Imagine the kind of attention it gets when you put it somewhere where people are actually looking.
well, sure,
Yeah.
but like, you know,
I didn't know about it. You know, I mean, I honestly don't really check out the Cartridge Club forums a lot because it's just not a practice I'm used to. You know, it's not be, you know, now you linking the Cartridge Club forum in your tweet, you know, was great. You know, and like, I was still thinking about taking you up on it. I'm looking at it and I see where you're coming at with your price. So
yeah, and I'm willing to figure something out if you have a price in mind. We can talk about it. You know, in DMs and stuff.
I'm just saying I see where you're coming from too. So
okay, cool. Yeah, but you know, they're gonna sit on my shelf, or you know, for so if there's something that you're down for, you know, we can definitely work something out. But I did also have, not to get our discussions going, but there were a couple of those NES games that you at the time were thinking about. I don't know if you're still in that same state of mind or if you've changed your mind on moving some of those or what, but could always figure something out with that too. Maybe.
yeah, I totally lost you guys on lag. I don't know if that was me or.
I think it was you. I didn't see any lag.
Damn.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
Scott put this game posted on his list of stuff he's getting rid of. This NES game called the Silver Server. I've never heard of this.
Okay.
Making fun of the typo. SURVER.
There's one further down on Xbox.
Okay.
Where is it? Peter Jackson's. Wait.
King Dong?
No, Peter Jackson's King Konga.
Oh.
That's the one you play with the Xbox drum peripheral.
Donkey King Konga.
Yeah. But yeah, he's just got quite the list.
Does a little fun at his expense.
Sorry, he's not here to defend himself.
Oh, he's got 7 copies of NHL 97 for Sega Saturn.
Only 7?
That's gonna go for a bit. Sorry, yeah.
Is that a collector item or garbage?
No, I'm making fun of a very common sports game on a Saturn on a platform nobody really plays. He's going to be stuck with those for a long time.
It's okay. I need those copies. I'm making a copy table out of them.
And
You probably get more money selling them as cases, playing cases.
Well, I was going to say, knowing what I know about Scott, the cases are no good because he probably swapped out the cases. But
nothing but the best for him.
That's right. I mean, Musty, going back to your comment, I don't think there is anything wrong with your tweet.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I thought nothing of it. The only thing I think of it is I'm surprised at how uncomfortable you were even tweeting it. I think it's a reasonable thing to do.
6 copies of Transformers Dark of the Moon Stealth Force Edition sealed on Wii. I might buy one of those just out of pity. Who's that from Wiki? That's actually a good gem.
Who is it?
Scott.
VG Collectaholic.
Has he got an eBay? Is that what it is, or
no? He deals personal.
Oh, he's got the store, right? What's his store?
He used to have a store, but now he is the main proprietor of a boner dungeon in Connecticut.
I posted the link in this group chat right here and here. If you need to see it.
What's a boner dungeon?
It is what you think it is.
Oh, are you serious?
No, it's a joke. He's got like 6,000 games and like he's got 10 complete sets now.
Oh, is that the guy who's got all the manuals?
No, that was Jason.
Okay.
No, it's Scott. He's
on
a big time collector.
Masters of Unlocking. It's like if you thought Dean had a big collection, Scott is on this like other level from Dean.
Yeah, you remember that tweet
to
where Dean got like 200 games in one thing? He got those from Scott.
Yeah, those were his extras, right?
Those were Scott's extras.
So everything that's on this post is what's left from that deal.
Yeah, these are all extras.
These are the leftovers of the leftovers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which explains the 7 copies of Transformers.
But yeah.
This is the segment of the show where we all look at the Cartridge Club forums to see what games we're not going to buy.
Hey, we get some traffic going through the
Free
site.
publicity, yeah. Hey, anyway, why do you want to hit up the site right now?
I hate doing this too because then my heart starts like me. I seriously got an addiction to this, dude. And like freaking, I'll be like, I'm feeling my heart get a little fast and stuff. It's like, dude, I gotta chill out.
Palms get sweaty.
Yeah.
You're like,
oh yeah.
All I have to do is message this guy, and it could be mine.
We were talking about PRGE, Melinda, and she was like, "You were just gone, dude. I was gone, just shopping games, and she was hanging out with you guys, and I was gone." Dude, I can't wait, man. I want to go to another one of those. That was a lot of fun, but I think this year, PRGE is going to probably be the next one I'll be able to go to, and I'm going to try to go with double what I went to that show floor with this time around.
Double the cash?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think we're going to drive too. We're going to drive this time as well.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, it looks like I'm going to have to pick between C3 and PRGE. So I think unless something happens, or unless this sell-off goes really, really well, Probably not going to work out, which is okay. Just make it an every other year thing.
Any progress on that one item?
I have it right here.
What is
But
this?
no, I didn't get a chance to I didn't get a chance to get to the post office.
What is it?
It'll be a future pickup. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll message you about it when we're done here. Yeah.
We really should just get a table at MGC so we don't have to worry about paying to get in, and we can just sell off the crap we don't want.
Good. There's still time, right?
I believe so. Just put us next to between Eric Bischoff and Ernie Hudson. Just put us right between them.
You don't want to be by the hot sauce vendor?
My man, Billy Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell.
You tell them. Tell them.
So, what do you guys think's going on right now with retro gaming? Is it going up, steady, dropping? Because I've been noticing some weird stuff, going on.
I think it's dying off, but I think the vendors' prices are trying to keep the price steady right now. Like, I haven't seen a drop in prices, but I've seen people like getting out of it quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But the prices are still the same from what I've looked at. So they might be a little bit cheaper here and there, but it's not like a dramatic drop. It's not,
Yeah, it's kind of stabilizing a little bit, kind of getting a little more realistic, I guess, in terms of how many people are going after stuff. The prices are still going to stay probably relatively similar, but there's just not going to be as much of a mad rush for some of these games anymore, I would assume.
I'm just go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, and that's with me not really paying close attention to the game collecting scene at this point anymore. That's just where I would assume it's going, because the attention's going away from NES and Super Nintendo as much, and it's going more to N64 and newer stuff, just because of generations and time going forward. That's what I assume is happening.
So is this we can say 2012 to 2018 was kind of like this inflation, and now we should probably be returning slowly back. Some of the things are gonna
okay. Some of the stuff that maybe had a higher price than was warranted is going to come down, but a lot of the desirable stuff that's kind of maintaining interest is going to stay.
I'll tell you this: I've seen the PS2 bump, where I'm not seeing prices get ridiculous with it, but I've seen stores go from having 3-4 rows of PS2 games to just one row right now. And I think Chris Roberts is saying that he's selling PS2s, the fats, for $50 on eBay. So,
it might be a good thing that I kept all those PS2 games in my closet for a couple of years without managing to get rid of them.
Do you want to sell?
Yes.
I'm actually trying to get back some that I had sold. I actually offloaded a lot of PS2 in the past too, and wish I would have kept it.
It's a bunch of common stuff, but I'll send you pictures later if you want.
I'm looking for Armored Core games.
Nope.
Especially Silent Mine, especially.
I never got into that. I don't have any. You want all the Jack games, though? I got those.
I have the Jack collection on PS3, and the PS3 is pretty good.
So
I have original Jack on PS2, but...
Yeah, I'm just making a joke because I've got all the common shit that everyone already has.
Oh, what I love is the limited run re-release, dude. It's
re-releases.
Yeah, and I mean, all it is the PS3, version.
No, it's the PS4 version, but it's
They did yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's their PS2 on PS4 thing, where it's not the full remaster. They just upscaled it. But some people apparently prefer that because it's one I think they did. I don't know if they did 4K on it, but it's just they up-resed all the stuff, and in the PS3 collection, they did some stuff that changed like the original look of the game, and some people were annoyed with that because it wasn't like the pure representation of what the originals were. But I think the PS4 version looks good. It's just I'm not really in the need for physical copies of each at what they're charging them for. I'll buy them on a sale.
Yeah.
I got the first one on as a pre-order bonus for Uncharted Lost Legacy. I'm good.
I like it. I also like that Sly Cooper collection. Like I've been noticing those PS3 collection sets are good. They're good ones to get.
Yeah, and
Got all those
obligatory warning of never buy the Prince of Persia 1. Do not do it. Just don't. It's
I don't
a
know
horrible
about
plan.
that one. I don't know about that
Do
one.
not. Do not spend any amount of money on it. Ever. If you get a copy for free, burn the thing.
The Silent Hill one's the one I can't ever find. I got the God of War, the Killzone, the Cooper, Sly Cooper, the one we were just talking, Jack and Daxter. Shit. Musty has those games for sale on PS2 as well. The Konami robot game. They just did a PS4
Zone
one.
of the Enders.
Yeah. The Zone of the Enders collection. Yeah, I mean, those are really, I think, worth their $1 for a PS3 game right now. Just because they're good upscales too.
Musty, did you see that one game in Scott's PS4 Steelbook section?
Dissidia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just typing it in to see what like going rate is.
Okay, I just figured I'd let you know just in case you accidentally scrolled past it.
Yeah, I don't have I struggle with that because it's like, is there single player content in that game?
I have no idea. I just know it's a Final Fantasy thing, so I mentioned it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have this here copy of Type 0 HD on the Xbox.
As do I.
Yeah.
Sealed.
I wish it would be worth more. And then I wouldn't have to play it.
Hey,
Light shade. I just don't care about Final Fantasy all that much.
That's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't click. I have nothing against it. It's just not for me.
No, you must like it. You have no choice.
You will play it and you will like it. Final Fantasy IV is perfect.
See if he's still here.
What? I wasn't making a P1 joke at all. And yet the silence persists.
Well,
I was just gonna ask Eric. I was like thinking, like looking at the art on this box and all the old Sega stuff. It's like, dude, it's just so awesome, dude. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Like the old art. I mean, I love that stuff, dude. It's like just symmetrical lines and little bright art pictures on symmetrical lines, and it's like they could have done so much more to promote their brand, you know. But it has an interesting aesthetic that's like unique, you know, and like I don't know. It's just it bothers me at one moment, next minute I'm like, it's cool.
Yep.
And then you got the Nintendo cases where the art is so fantasy or so deep that it's like if you judged a book by the cover, those games are selling copies just by the cover, you know.
Ooh, that is a fairly decent Intellivision list. I might hit him up for a few Intellivision gems.
Oh, you collect television?
Very casually. I've sat with the same like 25 for the most part, except for a couple boxed ones I've picked up. But when I run across them, I'll check.
Yeah.
And there's he's got one of my top ones in there, Treasures of Tarman, that I do want to get. Like the only ones I picked up outside of that initial 25 are Tron, Mazatron, Burger Time, Bomb Squad, and Snafu. So those are just the ones I've run across.
Oh yeah, I love Snafu.
I got something like a quarter of the library from just those 4 and 1 trip to the thrift store. It was a weird time.
Mm.
Also, it's a very small library, so it's not that difficult.
Right.
But Treasures of Tarman just looks interesting because it's like the first-person dungeon crawl type thing, but on Intellivision, which is a very early one of those, so that's interesting to me. Not super interesting, but enough if it's a good deal. Dracula. This is riveting, I'm sure.
P1 says Final Fantasy IV is perfect.
No, he says it's perfect. Get it right.
It's like on an entirely other level.
I have nothing against it. It just wasn't for me.
Oh, I should mention this because I mentioned it last week. Those Mantis headsets for the PSVR, thumbs up.
Mm.
It's Mantis. Is that what
Mantis?
you said?
Yeah. The brand is Bionic, and the Mantis is the model name.
Oh, what's the brand again?
Bionic, Bionik.
Oh, thank you. I would never have spelled it that way.
And I got it with the. I'll just grab my headset. I got it with the. There's a. You have the option to purchase the over the ear cups that are like this.
Oh,
So.
Yeah.
So they don't do noise canceling, but it effectively helps shut out a lot of other noise in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I play in a noisy room. I'm in this little basement, but yeah, they work really, really it's so much nicer to not have to share earbuds with people. So if you have multiple people who are using it, that solves one problem.
Mm.
And then you don't have the one thing I was finding is that toward the end of a stretch of Beat Saber, the earbud would one of them would inevitably slip out of my ears.
Mm.
I'm finding 2 sets on Amazon. One's called the BNK 9007.
I think that's
which is $40, and one is they both say Mantis. One's BNK 9007 Mantis, and one just says Bionic Mantis VR headphones, high fidelity for PSVR. But they both say for VR. Do you know
Amazon? Hold on, I'm looking.
As a side note, if anyone is in the market for some adult games for the 3DO, Scott's got you covered.
So the ones that I picked up were the BNK 9007 Mantis headphone for PlayStation VR.
Okay.
Find this other one.
So they're $40 roughly?
Yes, roughly.
And then
they're normally they're marked down quite a bit.
Okay.
Which is good.
And then the cups are $15?
Yes, the over ear pads for Mantis.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're you can switch them back out, which is nice. So I hung on to the over the ear pads have a different screen on it. And so if you wanted to switch back, even if you tried it and you decided that you didn't like the cupping, you can take those off, and then I suppose you can return them without a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and stick it in my Amazon wish list here.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about maybe getting a different set of headsets for the.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, and it you can adjust. You kind of adjust it once it's on, and then you just once they're there, it's been great.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
It's been helping with my morning session.
Right.
Your morning beat session.
My morning saber beating
session.
session. Yes, every morning.
Just gotta get in right before you go to work.
Roll out of bed. And
start beating it.
Straight downstairs.
No better way, guys.
Gets the heart going, you know.
That's right.
No.
It's just like
Get that drug in the system bright and early.
well, just the music alone helps wake up.
Oh yeah, believe me.
Like
Endorphins, man, best thing for your body. You know, don't resist
Mm-hmm.
reality, dude.
No, but it's nice. Like every morning, like I usually set at least one personal best on a song, or I've been pushing for a full combo. I almost Angel Voices, almost full combo on hard.
Damn.
What does
so
that mean?
close.
What does that
It's
mean?
a
Full-
very it's a very long, very
errorless.
hard song to beat in the morning.
It's a errorless run, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been trying, and I was so mad because it was the third to last note at the end of that song where it's just kind of like it's trailing off,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I just missed it, and I was just
yeah.
like, I was so angry because I was like, oh, I got it. I'm like, I'm past it all. Okay, and then I missed it, and I was like, so then it came up, and I had missed one note, and I was like, no.
If you're wondering why there hasn't been any competition on the leaderboards for me on there, I did something to my shoulder and I had to stop doing the Beat Saber. I don't know what I did, but I just pulled something and I've just been giving it a break. I think it was from even before I got the VR, but like it wasn't a big strain, and then I kept doing like Beat Saber and a whole bunch of other stuff without really thinking about it, and it got worse over time, and I finally had to be like, I need to put down the Beat Saber and let this heal.
Yeah, I'm chasing after Church right now, but I don't think I'll ever catch him on some of those songs. Like his high scores are crazy. Like
Really?
I don't get how he did that on some of this stuff.
Also, just a side note, because I appreciate the pun, here's a tweet from Marvel from a little bit ago.
Biggest things.
I just like that these are a few of our favorite things, and it's just a list of different things in the Marvel Universe. It's dumb, but I enjoyed it.
Did you see Marvel also tweeted out earlier today that Lego Marvel Superheroes 1 and 2 and
Avengers
is going to be one pack coming?
Yeah, they're doing a PS4
in March.
pack. That's pretty cool, because there is some DLC to that. I've only got the first one, and I only played a few bucks for it, but I haven't played it yet, so. That is a cool announcement.
Yeah.
They did that for the Harry Potter games, too. They did the 2 games in one pack. And I never got the second one, so I've been thinking about grabbing that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I started... So, right before my kid got crazy about Jurassic Park, I had picked up Lego Jurassic World as sort of a response to him watching Lego Jurassic World, which is on Netflix, like the kidification of that movie.
One of the Lego shorts.
Yeah, it was still like 20 something minutes, but it was kind of a dumbed down version of the movie, or queued it up or whatever you want to call it. But we just started watching Marvel movies with him. So we're through Iron Man 1 and 2 and Captain America. And he's on board, which is great. So now, well, I mean, I kind of expected it, but part of me is like there's some stuff in the first Iron Man that's like, I don't know how he's going to respond to this. So he wasn't watching when Vanity Fair was, when they were rolling around on stuff, which was good. I'm glad he missed that. But it was, we're watching Thor next.
That's probably going to go over pretty well.
I hope so, especially the horse line.
And the coffee line.
Yeah. But, he really wants to get to the Avengers, and I'm like, not yet. We got one more to do before that. And we're skipping Incredible Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. It's not a bad movie, but that might be the riskier one, just imagery-wise.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a darker movie.
Yeah. Well, and plus, so it's funny because I think he's had his first instance now of I recognize an actor from another movie.
Yeah, that would be confusing too. I was just thinking that.
And so if he thinks Hulk is this guy and then all of a sudden it's this other guy,
Yeah.
like he might call that out. But it's funny because everyone's like, oh, like we were talking about with our friend and they're like, oh, my son knows that he thinks The Rock is in everything. Not my son, but my friend's son thinks that The Rock is in everything now. And so ours was like, yeah, my son had an instance where he saw an actor and it was somebody who was from another movie that he has watched a lot of. And it is the scientist from Captain America, the Nazi scientist, the little like short guy, Truman Capote looking dude.
Yep.
Arnim Zola?
Yep. The one who's in the computer in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So
look up what Arnim Zola looks like in the comics if you've never seen it. It's wild.
So the actor, I think his first name is Toby. It might be Toby Jones, I think is his name, but he is the auctioneer in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is probably his favorite of the Jurassic Park movies, because he's just watched it so many more times than everything else. And so he's like that's what we have to lean on is this is the guy that he recognized as being like, it's that guy from that other movie. Yeah.
A lot of vigorous typing going on over there.
Sorry.
With
Doing some
gusto.
spreadsheet data entry here.
Oh, wait. I did have a pickup. It's just not game related.
Did you pick up a spreadsheet?
No, I got this.
Hold on.
It's the little shotgun mic. The one that, it's like that deal.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see.
This one.
Nice. For DSLR.
Yeah, it's got a hot shoe and here, I break it out. It's got a hot shoe and the dead cat, I guess is what they call it.
The wind muff.
The major breaker.
Yeah. And then it's got the lyre mount, and the mic itself is only this big. So instead of me hauling around that pro mic, I can actually use this, and because I think this is what Russ uses. So when he was doing all his recording at PRG, this is what. But yeah, it's just like that. And then you could stick this thing on top of it if you really want to, depending on your setting, I guess. Yeah. Boom. But
Back to movies for a second.
That's what I got.
I was thinking about it after you mentioned like the Jurassic Park thing with your son liking those movies. It kicked back for me for a second. It's like, wait, if he likes Jurassic Park and he's okay with those, he'd probably be okay with Incredible Hulk. It's not that much creepier.
Yeah, he doesn't he has not had an issue with
outside of the actor thing.
Well, the actor thing was funny.
Yeah,
I thought maybe when Red Skull shows himself for the first time, I was like, well, maybe he won't like that. Nope, did not bat an eye.
Yeah,
which is
he didn't start saying Hell Hydra after that, or
no, he didn't. So that's good.
I want to paint my face red, Dad.
Nope. Now, what's going to really mess with his head is when we eventually get to Lord of the Rings, or everything else that Hugo Weaving is in.
Yeah. That's going to be a thread weaving through a lot of movies.
That's right. A Hugo thread.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like once we get through the MCU stuff, then I think we might look at Star Wars. He's still at that point though, where if it's just dialogue, he doesn't have the attention span for it.
Yeah, A New Hope would be the boringer one at this point.
Just let him watch Jedi over and over. He'll love the Muppets. The Muppets and the Ewoks. That was my favorite as a kid. So just watch this.
Yeah, I just want to.
No.
I want him to understand, like, good versus evil. Like, I want to be able to at least grasp that these things exist. I don't want to subject him to evil, but I feel like some of the Marvel stuff will get him there.
Yeah, it's a lot of good and evil plots.
Yeah.
In terms of just things being shocking, if you can handle Infinity War, Star Wars ain't gonna be nothing.
Yeah, what about Guardians? What about the first Guardians movie? That might be like more his speed.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
I mean, we're going in. You know, it's nice because I'm kind of rewatching them for myself too.
Talking Raccoon and Tree Man,
Tree Man, and
Ant-Man is going to be a thing, probably.
Yeah. Well, we watched Homecoming because the first time that we were just looking for something, and then it happened to be on Prime, like included with Prime. So it's like, hey, this is what we'll watch.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think they said Captain Marvel's like 30 days away too right now.
Dude, I've been getting crazy on Twitter. Sorry if you guys ever see my tweets, but I've gotten Toe Jam and Earl hooked up with Steak-'em meat, which is ridiculous. They've been hooked up with Sunny D, and then they've been hooked up with what the hell was the other one? DiGiorno's, because I was badgering.
You're connecting the Twitter accounts.
Badgering them, yeah, badgering them, like feed these guys, and I think we just got them hooked up with Planters Peanuts too, because the other day they got Steak-'em and fucking I made some nachos too, just a link to that tweet. That shit tastes gross. I don't ever buy that stuff, but
if you get them connected with Arby's, they might get cross promotion.
But anyways, it's just I've been messing around, having a lot of fun with it. And when they get hooked up, they're like, "We did it, fam!" And like they tweet me direct and say, "Hey, we did it." It's like
it's a bit of a running gag going on.
Yeah, and it's working too. That's the funny part. But yeah, that's a good idea. Arby's been trying to hit up In-N-Out Burger. Tell them to feed
Arby's always does like the pictures. Like little crafts
made out of the cardboard from the boxes.
I mean, they did Samurai Pizza Cats, for crying out loud. They'll do Bubsy or Toe Jam and Earl, whatever it is.
If you ever see my tweet and you see that, that's what's going on.
Yeah, it's like when I'm half paying attention, I'll just throw out Bubsy or Toe Jam and Earl, and chances are that's one of the ones you were talking about.
Damn it, Eric just took off.
Yeah.
Damn it. Didn't even say bye.
He did, but it was in the text chat because you were talking.
Well, still, come on, Eric.
Rude.
Don't be acting all old on us, dude. Say something.
Unlike some people, he doesn't like to interrupt.
That's all right. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I gotta get the hell out of here.
I'm in a bad mood now. I'm leaving.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. All because of you, man. No longer feel loved. Bye.
Yeah, started a bit late, and we're kind of getting up there now anyway. Do you guys have anything to add? Do you want to talk about any Super Bowl trailers?
The Xbox Adaptive trailer the commercial was really good.
I didn't see that one, but I'll look it up later.
You should. It's
Done like every single like video game video now, basically for ads for YouTube.
it's a well put together trailer, and I think that with us, we're like, yeah, we knew about this last year, or whenever they announced it, and like I would bet that there are millions of families who did not know that existed, and that was the moment when they were like, maybe they're dealing with someone who is dealing with a hand that they were dealt, or an accident that happened, or something like that, and to be like, wait a minute, like that I think was a big thing. And
what were they announcing it on before, like the E3 stage?
They showed it at E3. It was before E3 that they it might have been Inside Xbox from like April or May.
Yeah, but Super Bowl, slightly bigger stage.
Yeah, much, and a much different audience than the people who tune into a live stream of Major Nelson with white gloves on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and that was today also. They showed off that red controller that they showed off is nice.
I do not watch Inside Xbox outside of that one time before.
But what games can you play with that controller, Musty?
All of them. And you can also hook it up to your PC. So all of them. But what else did they? They announced another Mortal Kombat inclusion character.
They did Cabal, I thought, today, right?
Cabal was during Mortal Kombat's deal, and then they announced who's the Spider Woman from 10.
Devore.
Yeah, she's going to be in 11. But all they showed was a screenshot. They didn't show.
I hated her as a character. No, she's not fun to play, but she's just such a blah. I don't know. I hate that. I really just have the classics back first.
Yeah, they'll get there.
I know, with DLC.
What about movie trailers?
That Twilight Zone trailer was awesome.
I didn't know that was the thing. I only saw a couple, if you can't tell.
Yeah, so they came back. So CBS is who has this. It's going to be on Access, which kind of stinks. Like exclusive to Access.
I'll get it on Crave here in Canada.
But they came. It was like they came back from commercial. They actually had the. I can't remember who was doing the color or the announcing from the booth. But they came back and it seemed like it was a normal commercial, and then things start to like glitch out, and all of a sudden, like the stadium is empty, and so it's Jordan Peele who did Get Out and all that.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was that or a different similar franchise, but
he's doing the Twilight Zone for CBS.
That's gonna be interesting.
He had another movie too. He had another horror movie like earlier shown, and I thought that was because I thought he was doing Candyman as well, but that was for some other horror movie he's got coming out.
Oh, the one with the family on vacation?
Yeah.
I saw that trailer. That I did not want to rewatch it. Freaked me out. I'm just like, I can't do that. No, thank you. What else? The Avengers trailer.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
okay.
I'm not a fan of the Fast and Furious movies, but I did think it was funny seeing The Rock eating Folgers raw out of the can for that Hobbs and Shaw movie, or it's called.
I love that trailer.
I thought that was pretty funny. Just that's disgusting but hilarious. That's, over the top. The
whole trailer is good.
And that's for one of my, I guess quirks against the Aquaman movie. It feels at times too Fast and Furious for me.
Isn't it the same director?
Yes.
As one of them?
Yeah, but like I could do without that for his movie. I know people love it, but to me that's like Fast and Furious. That's its own thing. I don't want that being brought into this. But then again, I don't give a shit about Aquaman anyway, so what do I care? So
that makes me more interested in Aquaman.
He doesn't eat Folgers raw out of a can, though.
Yeah. He's not fighting Idris Elba.
No. But
that was funny. It is just a superhero franchise now. Bulletproof
is.
Idris Elba.
You
That's
think about
so
where it
great.
started with them drag racing cars, and
Yeah.
now they're like government agents, driving cars through buildings from outer space.
We haven't hit outer space yet, and I emphasize yet.
They'll get there. They'll have like a rocket car at some point in time.
Have you guys seen Fate of the Furious?
I've only seen like parts of 6 and 5 and parts of 7.
Okay,
Only parts because like if I see them on television or something, like I'll stop for like a blurb, but that's about it.
You should watch 5 all the way through, and that'll either sell you or put you off the whole thing. Because that's one where they just like decide to lean into just the fun factor. It's like the one where like they're doing street races to then going immediately to using the fancy cars to pull a bank heist. And I don't mean that's their getaway car. I mean they are using the cars to drag the vault out of the bank and down the street. But I love it. And I say this line from Fate because it was in the trailer, and it sells you on what kind of movie it is, or puts you off. Either way, whichever you want it. But they're driving on the ice. Like they're just driving on ice, running away from like these armored jeeps, and a submarine comes out from the ice and starts chasing them. At which point The Rock immediately exclaims, "We're gonna need a bigger truck." I love it. I love these stupid movies. They're absurd and they're great. Kind of funny is doing a in review, watching all of them. If you want to watch those podcasts.
Yeah, I'll need to go back. I haven't watched most of those.
Yeah.
Actually, like modern action movies that aren't superhero based. Like I haven't seen any of the John Wicks, and the third one's coming for that.
I didn't like the first one. I know people love it, and I did not like that first one. So that's why I've never seen the second one.
You might like the second one more. Because, like, was it, like, just kind of more, like, just the dour and the pacing of it?
Well, I thought the acting was really bad in the first movie.
I mean, what do you expect?
But it's a Keanu Reeves movie, right?
Yeah, and it's an action movie. It's like... But the second one gets interesting a little bit. And there's a lot of good action scenes. And weird Lawrence Fishburne is always a treat. Those are good movies. They're not like amazing. They're not like the second friggin' coming, but they're good. They're good action movies.
Yeah, just thinking about other Super Bowl stuff. That's honestly, I can't remember anything else that really.
I mostly wanted to bring up Hobbs and Shaw because that trailer was delightful.
Just because of the coffee grind, so eating Folgers out of the can. That
was the part that like just blew past me. It's not that I didn't notice it; I just didn't care because of the rest of the trailer.
That stood out to me because that's disgusting.
Mm.
Well, I'm trying to think of what else.
Just since we're on action movies and you're trying to think of other Super Bowl stuff, for like a modern, like a foreign action movie, if you want to get into like one of those, maybe. This is the second one, but still, The Raid.
Okay, is that Jet Li? Who is that?
No, that's
It's a lucky guess.
No, it's an Indonesian American co-production, but it's Cartridge Club from Force Awakens. It's a lot of these guys.
Okay.
I was really excited when I saw like actors from The Raid are going to be in Last Jedi. It's like, oh my god, are they doing the lightsaber choreography? Because I'd be here for it. And then they're just like Cartridge Club, and it's like, oh, that's depressing. And you'll get exactly why once you watch one of those movies. It is slightly more violent than the average action movie.
Yeah.
But very good. I think they're on Netflix, but that could just be in Canada.
Okay.
They are subtitled, so just be aware of that.
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't committed to watching a lot of movies lately, so it's been kind of nice to hammer on those. And if I time things out right, I should be caught up or it should be recycled on everything by the time Endgame
Go
is
ahead.
out. So, but yeah, no,
Actually,
that trailer was pretty good.
Sorry, just
was
slight
short.
tangent. Since you mentioned Jet Li, this isn't a recent one, it's like 2002. But if you haven't seen this, Hero is very good.
Okay. The last Jet Li movie I watched was The One.
Yeah, that was kind of it for me before I saw Hero. It's like, I don't know why everyone just watched The One at the time.
Mhm.
Jason Statham was in that too. Oh man, I needed water desperately. Jason Statham. A lot of drowning pool in that movie.
Yeah.
I think that was around a similar time that Hero came out. Drastically different movies. That's also got like
Yeah, Hero was like you had like Last Samurai and like and then
definitely more of a period kind of action movie.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden
Yeah.
Dragon. Yeah. Crazy movies.
Yeah. I'll just name drop one more of the Hong Kong action movies. Is if you liked Donnie Yen as what was his name in Rogue One, Blind.
I know.
guy.
Yeah, I know.
If you liked him and want to see him in some action movies, watch the Ip Man trilogy. IP is the spelling.
Okay.
The first one mainly. The second one and third one get a little crazier until the point where he's literally facing Mike Tyson. But and the craziest part about that, it's like it's not Mike Tyson playing Mike Tyson. He's playing a character in the third one, but it's Donnie Yen playing Bruce Lee's old master, the person who trained Bruce Lee. Vastly fictionalized, if you can't tell, but it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I might be toast.
Yeah. If we get to the point where
not as toast as I am some weeks, but I think I'm tapped out.
Yeah, all I'll say, just because I wanted to look up the one in relation to when Hero came out, a year apart.
Okay.
The one was 2001, Hero was 2002. Yeah, but if we've gotten to the point where I'm talking about Hong Kong action movies and people are actually listening, we're done.
Oh, I should ask Ryan.
Yep.
I still have the envelopes. Except, like I have these set aside. The ones for Travis and Jake.
Yeah.
We don't need those, right?
I don't think so.
I didn't want to throw them away and then.
Or you could save them for next year because they're nice.
They're nice, but they're all ripped up now because I made a mistake and didn't think to get easier stickers or something. I still have some left though, because I got them at Walmart. But I only have 4 left, so only 4 categories next year. Just kidding. But yeah,
We'll experience a Discord-like purge.
Yeah.
Let's put
Thank you for being okay with that too. Like it was just something that like it popped up and you know,
it was kind of
Jay Dubious. Just he's not there all the time. He just popped in and was just like, "Wow, this is a lot to handle." And I don't feel like things were out of like. I still have some threads muted, so maybe the comic discussion, like I'm not seeing that.
It's like,
but
a lot of, sorry to cut you off, but it was a lot of the ones that I was kind of nebulous about getting rid of are ones that I had muted. It's like I kind of feel bad about cutting 7 categories without feedback that I've never engaged with myself.
Yeah,
but it's just
I could see that. I just think it's good to consolidate it now, and then if nobody misses it, then we did the right thing.
And they can always come back.
If they do, then they can come back. Like the spoiler threads, like they're nice for a while, but at some point you've got to sunset
they die
them.
out.
Yeah,
they die out.
Yeah, like we still had the God of War one, and it's like nobody's going back to read that. And I know that
these are
you're
not the
gonna get
forums. This is not a record of events. This is
Right.
in the moment chats.
and you're gonna get someone like Dean who's gonna say, "Can we archive those conversations?" And to me, it's like I don't really want to.
I wouldn't know how to do that, and I'm not sure if it's necessary.
There's a way to set threads to lock admin only.
If we find a really good one, maybe we can do that, but I don't
Sure.
think that's really what this is for.
I agree with you.
And while we're here, and I never got an answer back yesterday, Ryan, do you care about the fighting games thread, or can that go?
Yeah, it probably can go.
Yeah, it's kind of sticking out like a sore thumb after getting rid of all the rest of the stuff in that category. There are a
the
few
thing is,
more.
it pops and goes. Like when I guess like a new fighting game comes out or something like that, and then it's hot for like a day or two, and then it just goes away.
Yeah, you can talk about that in whichever section you're going to be engaging with that game with. But,
I mean, I think it's good for that to flow into. I guess if it's the biggest topic of the day, then general makes sense, right? But if it won't always work out that way, or maybe that hits and some other big news is happening, and you'll kind of have these like dual conversations happening.
I not to toot my own horn on the name change, but I'm glad I thought of community content for an alternate content sharing thing, and then moved content sharing to the general thread on that. That just makes more sense, I think.
Yeah.
But there are only a couple other threads that are like questionable.
The convention ones, part of me is like, should we really do our convention planning in public? And so part of me was thinking about ditching that whole thing, but I didn't want to cut the photos thread.
No, that's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna bring up is because we've got several different types of photo threads. I was wondering like because there's the adorable pets, there's also show and tell, which is just a general thing.
Yeah.
And do we want to do maybe something like migrate CC photos from the convention stuff to just a general photo share? Because we definitely that's one to archive because that's a like.
I think that would be totally fine.
And it would kind of serve the same purpose as art and cosplay. We could put that into community content, and that could be just a general Cartridge Club photo share. I'm not going to do that now because I'm too tired.
No, that's fine. But I think that's nice because then you end up cutting another like hierarchical category by getting rid of the conventions one for now. Because the Midwest one, like, I don't even think we end up firing up Twitter DMs for that kind of planning.
And we can always just do a pop-up channel for that kind of thing. As necessary.
like we're at the event, so we'll fire this up, and then people can, or we make those people drop the pictures that they're taking into the photo section.
Like the E3 one, we got rid of that, and someone got rid of that, probably you. But
it was me. There were a few that I cut out. A lot of the spoiler ones I killed.
The other spoiler ones. You just kept the two.
There's a Red Dead one, and I left it because there was a discussion a week ago.
Yeah, they're active.
Yeah.
But,
and then the Kingdom Hearts one I left alone because
that's new.
Yes.
But the other thing that is worth discussing, like moving the CC photos up to community, I think I'll just move that to community content right now anyway, because that doesn't require any editing, and that makes more sense. Is because it's an important thread, but it's buried at the bottom of the thing.
Yeah.
In a thing that no one looks at.
So
I'll just put that into community content for now.
Yeah. But that spawned that spawned quite the conversation in the Discord yesterday.
Or the ramble from me, at least. It wasn't so much that I was taking it upon myself. It's like, this clearly needs to be done and no one else is jumping at it.
Yeah, well, I was trying to handle what I was doing for the day.
Yeah, I was free and no one else was.
Yeah.
I had nothing better to do, so I cleaned up the forums.
Yeah.
So now that I moved that out of there, should I just get rid of conventions? Because it's just the Midwest one in there.
Yeah, that's fine. It's the most imminent one, but it's again, I think that
can be a pop-up thread.
Like C3 makes sense.
Yeah,
because that's much larger. But like if we're talking like 5 people trying to plan where they're gonna go to dinner. Like,
Yeah, that can be a
either
topic.
either do that in a private, like, can you do Discord with multiple people, like a private chat with multiple people? Does that
I
exist?
don't know, but you can do a voice chat.
You can do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, but as I said, like they can come and go. But Midwest is more your thing, so if you're telling me to delete it, then I'm just going to delete it.
Yeah, I mean, the last conversation on it was like, Hodge saying that he was going to come, but he was also talking about that on Twitter. So
Okay. Yeah, that's the kind of thing you can maybe bring up in the general and say, okay, we'll add you to the Twitter chat.
Yeah, the only kicker about it is that legacy conversation isn't maintained through Twitter chats, and that's kind of why we were like, oh, the Discord will be great because now people can jump in whenever they want. But
that's also a general discussion because it's community
exactly
thing. The major thing that's good about this is it reprioritizes the general chat.
Yes.
Because there were so many spin-off places where you could put stuff that almost no one was using general chat.
Yeah. I think there was a comment today that somebody said it was like, it's nice to all of a sudden see some of these things that I'm partially interested in, but you know, I wasn't going to take the effort to go down to that other thread to go look at it.
Yeah, it's almost like cleaning your Netflix queue. You start seeing movies you were meaning to watch but completely forgot about.
Yeah.
No,
that's great.
Yeah, I'll leave that for later. One other one I wanted to bring up, though, was, book club can be Caleb's decision because that's his forum. But I don't think anyone uses it, but I don't want to delete it offhand. But
yeah,
wrestling is also one that's not my area, so I don't want to take the initiative on that one.
I don't even know if that's like.
I still use it.
Okay,
is there active use there?
Yeah, it's really just around like the once a month pay-per-views and whatnot. So
yeah, I think that might serve a similar purpose for you and wrestling individuals as the comic one does for me and you and Sergio and a couple other people, where it's like when comic discussion needs to happen, it flows there instead.
Yeah, because I'd rather not take a place in general or something like that.
Only a few people care. It's like, and if there wasn't a comic thing, I couldn't post stupid comic book panels anywhere. So that would just end up in general and no one would get it.
But yeah, like the movies and TV and the music, right? Those are specialized because
it's necessary.
Yeah.
Music is very rarely used, but there's a place for it. But the other one is, this is kind of a more nebulous one, is deals. Because it's very rarely used, but it's useful.
It is, but I feel like general makes sense for that. That's just because.
So I posted the last thing I posted in both.
Yeah, and see, you shouldn't have to do that. Like,
no, I did that better.
Sure, I'm just saying it'd be better to not have to. Oh, to see like where you get a reply from it.
Yeah,
I feel like deals is just us regurgitating like cheap ass gamer.
Essentially,
Twitter, yeah.
Mario 64.
Yeah, exactly.
The only other thing with it that is an argument for keeping it is if there's a big thing going on in the general chat, which there's actually a risk of that happening now, especially after the 500 friggin' post speed thing I did yesterday. Holy hell. But there are people that could have quit the Discord after seeing that conversation. Holy hell. But if something's like an ongoing conversation and then a deal pops up there, it could get buried immediately. Whereas if you're looking for deals, you can just go to deals and scroll through the last few posts.
Keep in mind, we don't have to chop every single thing, basically.
No, we don't.
No.
I think this already looks far more. Yeah, this already looks much more tidy. I'd be fine with leaving deals where it is.
Yeah, leave it for now. Not everything needs to go as your point is said thing.
Yeah.
I'm losing it slowly.
the one thing I would like to do, and I did it on the podcast one, is to actually get descriptions in there or on the channel topic, eventually, like so that it's like, here's the kind of thing that you'd be looking at if you came into this thread, right?
Yeah, and
just so there's some clarity over like, this is where you would share a piece of content versus here's where you would talk about a piece of content that you've observed and want to have a discussion over.
Yeah. Speaking of descriptions, if you want to take the initiative of coming up with a better, less trolly description for the RPGs area now that it's no longer JRPGs.
Oh, let me look.
I put that in there. I put that in there when Yoshi.
I'll
asked
come
for
up with
JRPG
something. I'll come up with
section.
something that's.
I left that
more-
just to see how long it would last. No one's touched it, and I love it. But that doesn't make sense anymore now that it's like all RPGs.
Yeah.
Because like if that stayed in just JRPGs, people that are into JRPGs get that enough that it would be funny. But if you're going in there to talk about Dragon Age, it's going to be like, what the hell?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it can stay as it is for now, and if anything else comes up later, other than consolidating the photo threads, but CC photos being in community content makes more sense, and that's in there now.
Okay. Cool.
The only downside to consolidating community content like I did is for a brief shiny moment, I had it sorted podcast, videos, and blogs.
Oh.
And the joke is gone.
That'll be all right.
Yeah.
He's also not here to.
Yeah. No one was there to appreciate my joke but me. Which is usually the case. But okay. Yeah, that was an extra 30 minutes of discussion.
No. Maybe 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't looked since
11.
Super Bowl
11
stuff.
minutes?
Yeah.
I haven't looked since Super Bowl.
I was ready to say
thought
goodbye
we
at
went.
11:30 and it's 11:41.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, we're done.
All right.
In more ways. than one.
I'll ping you about the thing that we were talking about.
Okay. No rush on that. I was just checking.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah,
Bye.
I'm gonna end this and go get some damn water. Okay. See you everyone next
Later.
week.
Bye bye.